The Master of Poisons transforms Douluo. This video is purely for entertainment and does not infringe on copyrights or laws. The rights to the novel and image belong to the original author. We do not claim ownership. Don't like waiting and want to listen to this fanfic in full now? Subscribe to our Patreon, where you'll find the best fanfics. Chapter 76 Friends, Delicious. Tian Meng looked at Huo Yuhao. Yuhao, use your invincible brain to think of a solution. Method. Huo Yuhao looked at the slightly bewildered three-eyed golden lion, as if thinking about something. Whose spiritual perception at this moment was also getting closer to the other party, which was one of the reasons why Huo Yuhao did not teleport away the moment he saw the three-eyed golden lion. At this moment, Rushao is indeed at his most immature. Since the parent of the guardian is not around, then Huo Yuhao came up with a plan. It was also at this time that the three-eyed golden lion suddenly felt an inexplicable malice. She pushed Huo Yuhao away with her big head and quickly jumped out like a frightened soft-boned rabbit. The three-eyed golden lion only then realized that he was so close to the stranger in front of him, and it seemed that even his golden hair was stained with a layer of shy red. Something is wrong, very wrong. Dian had clearly taught him to stay away from those cunning and hypocritical human spirit masters, so how could you be so careless? You haven't told me your name yet. Don't change the subject, human. Don't think you can do whatever you want just because you have beautiful eyes. The three-eyed golden lion stared at Huo Yuhao with a defensive attitude, and his voice became a little cold. Looking at the three-eyed golden lion in front of him, who seemed ready to call his parents if he disagreed with something, Huo Yuhao smiled slightly and spoke in a gentle voice. My name is Huo Yuhao. What's your name? It's really rare to find a soul beast that can speak. Huo Yuhao? A name with 3 characters, so strange. Then, the three-eyed golden lion raised his head proudly. I am the Emperor's auspicious beast. Everyone calls me the auspicious beast. Hearing this, Huo Yuhao's mouth twitched. That's not surprising. The names of your ferocious beast family members all have 2 characters, like Dian, Biji, Qi Wang, and Shangjun. However, there is an exception, the Silver Dragon King Gu Yuna, but at this moment, she is in a deep sleep to relieve her injuries. It is estimated that the young three-eyed golden lion has not formally seen her yet. Lucky beast, do you want to eat grilled fish? Originally, Huo Yuhao wanted to let the other party experience barbecue, but now time was urgent and there was no time to prepare. What? Grilled fish? No. The three-eyed golden lion only likes to eat the brains of soul beasts with light attributes, and is basically not interested in other things. Are you sure you don't want it? Rushao, take out a frozen grilled fish from the flower bud goo, and then use the stove goo to heat it up. Suddenly, a strange fragrance spreads. The day before departure was the night of a barbecue party, so Huo Yuhao still had some leftover grilled fish in his hands. I had originally planned to solve it on the way back, but I didn't expect it to come in handy here. I don't. Three-eyed Jinni turned his head proudly, and was halfway through his words when he was aroused by the aroma of grilled fish. Humph, since you are so sincere, I will accept it reluctantly. The three-eyed golden lion could sense Huo Yuhao's sincerity, but she felt embarrassed by his quick change of heart, so she threatened him fiercely. If this snack doesn't suit my taste, you know the consequences. I want a brain of a light-attributed soul beast as compensation. Qi Wang clearly promised to help her find snacks. So much time has passed, why hasn't he come back yet? Okay, here you go. The thoughtful Huo Yuhao also helped the auspicious beast take out the skewers of grilled fish and handed out a plump grilled fish Poseidon lay carefully selected, quality guaranteed. The three-eyed golden lion took the grilled fish and ate it all in one bite. After biting it for a while in his mouth, he swallowed the fish bones into his stomach together. He was very heroic, just one burp away. It's so fragrant. The smile on Huo Yuhao's face froze for a moment. I hope she won't keep eating like this until she becomes a beautiful girl. Are there any more? Give me a few more. The three-eyed golden lion was completely unaware of what Huo Yuhao was concerned about, and instead rubbed his chest with his big head. After all soul beasts were like this. Achievement triggered. Achieve the three-eyed golden knees real fragrance warning achievement and receive the reward of light rainbow goo. Rainbow goo, a 3rd-level goo worm that can make a soul master turn into light and escape. It is said to be the fastest among the 3rd-level mobile goo worms. Evaluation, delicious, my friend. Is it the 3rd-level light rainbow goo? As expected of the Emperor's auspicious beast, every move he makes is magnanimous. If I remember correctly, if you want to use it well, You have to use it with thoughts such as electric goo or inspiration goo to enhance your reaction speed. However, such a shortcoming should not exist for Huo Yuhao-like moment. Huo Yuhao can use it with the assistance of his powerful mental power and mental detection. Although the light rainbow goo can transform into light and escape, it cannot actually reach the speed of light. The problem is not big three-eyed golden lion relationship, friends achievement task, waiting for refresh. After stroking the golden fur of the golden gray beast again, Huo Yuhao spoke. Lucky beast, I'm about to leave. See you next time. Leave? Why leave? Wouldn't it be better for you to stay and live with me? The big head is full of little doubts. I think your family may not welcome me, without Tianmeng and the others reminding him. Huo Yuhao could already sense a malicious force approaching rapidly. Squeak! A shrill scream suddenly sounded, and Tianmeng in the Sea of Spirits changed his expression greatly, and he said in a lost voice, "Oh no, it's a guardian of the ferocious beast level, Bindi." Also reminded, this breath is at least 300,000 years old. We should go, Yuhao. A violent roar came from afar, and the entire Stardao forest seemed to be shaking. There were continuous howls and roars. Within a radius of 10 miles, all the soul beasts prostrated themselves on the ground and dared not move. The strong fluctuations of soul power turned into tremendous pressure and attacked Huo Yuhao. The ice soul body possessed the body, and with the use of the strength goo, the Ice Emperor took over again. Huo Yuhao said helplessly to the three-eyed golden lion, "You see, your family doesn't welcome me. If I continue to stay with you, you can imagine the consequences." How come? The three-eyed golden lion roared in response, but was only responded with a more urgent roar from the distance. Staring at Huo Yuhao reluctantly, she looked aggrieved. Is it not possible? See you next time, lucky beast. If you don't leave now, when will you wait? Do you really want to stay and fight the Red King? Dog taming goo? I am fighting the Red King. Is this true or false? I let you control a canine soul beast, but I didn't let you control a three-headed red demon mastiff that has existed for 300,000 years. Not to mention defeating the Red King. Huo Yuhao now even had a hard time dealing with the three-eyed auspicious beast in front of him. After saying goodbye, Huo Yuhao activated the third-level light rainbow goo and turned into light and escaped. Not to mention, this poisonous insect arrived at a very timely moment, greatly making up for Huo Yuhao's mobility shortcoming. Otherwise, Huo Yuhao would have to spend some effort to escape. With his soul skills of moment and teleportation in hand, it would be no problem to leave, but the picture might not be so beautiful in terms of temperament. Huo Yuhao also needs to get it just right. Seeing the other party leave in a leisurely manner, Three-Eyed Jinni became puzzled. This way of moving seems strangely familiar. End of this chapter. Chapter 77 Classic Retention Link. Words. Staring closely at Huo Yuhao's departing back, the three-eyed golden lion had an idea that was about to take action. She wanted to follow him and go to the human world with him, just urged by the roar that was getting closer and closer. The three-eyed golden lion gave up the idea of chasing after him. See you next time, Yuhao. The eye of destiny between her eyebrows told her that now was not the right opportunity. Moreover, friendship is precious, and family ties are equally important. Although he was well protected by this group of ferocious beasts, the three-eyed golden lion also knew his importance to the Stardao Great Forest. It's also for Yuhao's own good, so be it. Lying on the ground, the three-eyed golden lion was shaking its tail, looking a little depressed. Not long after, a dark red figure came fiercely. This soul beast was over 5 meters long and extremely majestic, looking like both a dog and a lion, with 3 identical beast heads. Each head was over 1 meter in diameter, and its terrifying canine teeth emitted a red gold luster. It is the guardian of the three-eyed golden lion, the 8th of the 10 great ferocious beasts, the Red King, a ferocious beast with 300,000 years of cultivation. King Chi was in deep pain at this moment. It's so hard to take care of children, especially, the identity of this child is very important to their Stardao Great Forest. If anything went wrong with the auspicious beast, his small body would not be able to withstand the wrath of Emperor Yan. It had only been separated from the auspicious beast for a short while. When it came back to find the snack in the auspicious beast's mouth, it discovered that its home had been robbed. Following the breath left by the three-eyed golden lion, it sensed a strange breath from afar. It's human. The damned human actually dared to covet the Emperor's auspicious beast! Exclamation mark. This directly angered the Red King. It really didn't know why such a weak human spirit master could be so brave. Question mark. Do you really think you are a vegetarian? Are you okay? Ru Shao, not getting a response, the three-eyed auspicious beast remained silent. HMPH, That human ran fast and saved his life. What a lucky boy. Can soul beasts and humans really not coexist harmoniously? The three-eyed golden lion hesitated for a moment, but still asked, "Oh, my little ancestor, you can't think like that. Next time if you encounter a human soul master who is born evil, just attack him directly. If you can't beat him, I will help you." Like the lesson from the soft-bone rabbit before, you must not forget it and remember it firmly. Having said that, Qi Wang began to tell the story, trying to attract the attention of the three-eyed auspicious beast. A long time ago, there was a 100,000-year-old soft-bone rabbit that died tragically at the hands of a human soul master. Exaggerating the cunning of humans later, her descendants abandoned the gorilla and the snake for revenge, chose to transform into humans, entered the human world, and met a destined man. The three-eyed golden lion laughed. For some reason, the story that had been so attractive to her before was no match for the casual chat she had with Huo Yuhao while eating grilled fish. Of course, this is also because Qi Wang has already told many versions of this story, and she basically knows the final ending, so naturally she is not interested as Qi Wang tells the story. The story finally reaches its climax. Until that soul master finally resurrected this soft-bone rabbit after going through untold hardships. His voice, that hoarse cry, resounded throughout the sunset forest and even spread throughout the entire continent. Resurrection. My love, uncle. Qi Wang, didn't you say that humans are insidious and cunning? Why did that person resurrect the soft-bone rabbit? The three-eyed golden lion suddenly discovered the blind spot. The Red King was stunned when asked, and then he explained as a matter of course, that's because the soft-bone rabbits are still useful. In order to finally ascend to the divine realm, soft-bone rabbits are indispensable and are part of the plan. Is that so? The three-eyed auspicious beast shook its head in confusion and stopped worrying about it anyway. Yuhao is definitely not that kind of person. Besides, I still have a lot of life to do, so let's talk about it next time we meet, uncle. Qi Wang, I want to eat grilled fish. The three-eyed golden lion's tone returned to cheerfulness. Grilled fish? What about this snack? As he spoke, the Scarlet King did not forget the brain of the light soul beast in his hand. I want them all. I think the fish in the lake of life are pretty good. Okay, wait and see me grill the fish. Qi Wang is confident in his control over the temperature. It is a three-headed red demon dog with some true dragon blood, and it controls the fire of hell. This is a flame that is close to the ultimate fire. Just grilled fish, handle it with your hands. The two beasts walked and talked as they left the mixed area. The other side, after Huo Yuhao activated the third-level light rainbow goo and ran to a safe distance, he stopped activating it. Although there is a supply of Cyanide, the consumption of activating the energy goo and the light rainbow goo is actually quite high. In fact, releasing the light rainbow goo does not require the help of the strength goo. However, in the face of the terrifying pressure released by the Scarlet King, it would be difficult for Huo Yuhao to break through with his current strength without external help. Therefore, Huo Yuhao used both of them at the same time. After using both at the same time, due to the improvement of Huo Yuhao's physical fitness, the speed of transformation to rainbow also increased a lot. It can be considered a combination skill. Sure enough, as the number of poisonous insects increases, the number of partners also increases. The brilliant golden light disappeared, revealing Huo Yuhao's intact figure. The effect of the light rainbow goo was much better than Huo Yuhao had imagined. With its help, Huo Yuhao could fly ahead of time. Generally speaking, apart from the help of flying spirit skills and spirit guides, a spirit master who wanted to fly at high altitudes had to be at least a 7-ring spirit saint to be able to fly for a short time with powerful spirit power. There is another reason why Huo Yuhao stopped this time. It was a good opportunity to try out the second-level consumable poisonous insect I got from Wang Dong and take it by force. By forcibly extracting the goo, Huo Yuhao can select any part of the soul bone from the soul beast's corpse. Even external soul bones are fine. However, the location of the external soul bones obtained in this way cannot be determined arbitrarily, but is randomly generated by the soul beast. Moreover, the corpses of soul beasts that have already generated soul bones can no longer be used as raw materials. Plus, there is a limit on the number of revolutions. Only the external soul bones of 1,000-year-old soul beasts are the best targets. After all, we have come. The external soul bone with growth attributes is of great help to him. Huo Yuhao randomly selected a direction and began his horizontal exploration. Of course, Huo Yuhao had extremely high requirements for the type of this 1,000-year-old soul beast. This is how it is in the world of soul beasts. Cultivation is important, But one's own species also determines one's strength. It also determines the strength of the dropped soul rings and soul bones. It would be best if it was a flying soul beast with a powerful bloodline. Although he had the help of the light rainbow goo, a pair of wings type external soul bones were of great help to Huo Yuhao. Now finally, nearly 100 suitable flying soul beasts were eliminated. Huo Yuhao found a suitable dark golden bear during the spiritual detection. From its surging blood and soul power fluctuations, combined with what he had learned, Huo Yuhao accurately judged that this was a soul beast that was more than 2,000 years old. Dark Gold Iroquois Bear. Good luck. The Dark Gold Iroquois Bear, also known as the Earth Ripper, is one of the most ultimate and powerful soul beasts and is known as the war maniac in the forest. Generally speaking, the abilities of soul beasts have tendencies, such as speed, attack, defense, etc. For example, the 3 lives wolf ape that Huo Yuhao encountered before was mainly inclined towards speed, and its attack power was derived from its burst of speed. The Dark Gold Iroquois Bear is a weird one. It is good at both attack and defense, a complete contradiction. It is said that the most powerful Dark Gold Iroquois Bear even has the strength to fight against a giant dragon. Mr. Shuang, yes, it's me. It's evenly matched with Di Tian. Although I don't know if it is the one that Zhao absorbed in the original novel, but Huo Yuhao had already decided on his target. As for the wing-type external soul bones, I will definitely do it next time. This giant bear is over 3 meters long and extremely majestic. Its black hair has a faint metallic luster, and the claws on its 2 paws are particularly long, reaching 2 feet long. Simulated soul skills are activated this time. Huo Yuhao also used his mental power to cover up the smell. Although this Dark Gold Iroquois Bear has only been cultivating for 2,000 years, however, because of his excellent bloodline, he can fight across levels and possess the combat power of a 10,000-year-old soul beast. Underestimating the enemy and being careless is a big taboo in military strategy. Huo Yuhao would not be like that. He always kept in mind that he was just a small 3-ring soul master. Even a lion needs to use all its strength to fight a rabbit. As distance approaches, Huo Yuhao teleported to the vicinity of the Dark Gold Iroquois Bear, using a special movement with the assistance of space control and the cover of simulation. Everything is silent. The Dark Gold Iroquois Bear had no idea that it was about to die. It was still concentrating on eating the soul beasts it hunted afterwards. Witness Goo plus Soul Shock Killer Move, Soul Blast, weakened version. Without the help of this Henki Goo, Huo Yuhao also appropriately reduced the input of spiritual power, so the consumption would naturally not be that great. In addition, Huo Yuhao has now reached the Soul Master level, and his physical fitness and mental strength have been further improved. Soul Blast is no longer the same as before, where it can only be used as a trump card. Huo Yuhao's eyes suddenly lit up, becoming crystal clear in an instant. Then, a purple gold light flickered slightly. The next moment, violent mental power spread out from the Dark Gold Iroquois Bear, and its body began to tremble violently. At the same time, the screams of the Dark Gold Iroquois Bear were heard. A dazzling bright purple soul ring appeared with the death of the Dark Gold Iroquois Bear. An instant kill without any suspense. Although the Dark Gold Iroquois Bear's defense is invincible, but how would it respond if Huo Yuhao directly used mental attacks, activate and take the goo by force? I don't know if it's good news. Huo Yuhao discovered that it could not be used. He reached out his hand and touched the Dark Gold Iroquois Bear, then used the Ice Emperor's claw to cut off its right forelimb. He dissected it open in a few strokes, revealing a strange bone. This bone is dark gold in color and emits strong soul power fluctuations. It is obviously a soul bone. Bad news, the Dark Gold Iroquois Bear has dropped gold coins. Good news, it's the right metacarpal bone. There are 5 long and narrow blades at the front end of the right metacarpal bone, like a miniature version of a claw, and the dark golden halo flows on the blades like water waves. It really is the Dark Gold Iroquois Bear from the original novel. Huo Yuhao, I can only suffer for Xiao. End of this chapter. Chapter 78. The attached soul bones. Soul bones come from soul beasts and are extremely precious and rare. Because the probability of a soul beast under 100,000 years old producing soul bones is less than 1 in 1,000, soul bones are generally divided into 6 categories, namely skull, torso and limb bones. They have fixed lifespans, and their abilities are mainly related to the type of soul beast and the years of cultivation, and will not increase with the increase of the owner's soul power. In addition to these 6 types of soul bones, there is also a most special and rare type, which is the external soul bone. The drop rate of external soul bones is touching, less than 1 in 10,000, but it will evolve as the owner's soul power increases. Therefore, the preciousness of external soul bones is comparable to top-level soul bones, And for soul masters, it is second only to 100,000-year soul rings. The right metacarpal bone dropped by this dark gold deer or claw bear is a type of external soul bone, and it is also the top-level soul bone it produces. There is a book in the library, which records the research of the predecessors of the Academy on the dark gold deer or claw bear. Although the soul bones and other parts of the dark gold deer or claw bear's body have strong amplification effects, most of them tend to be defensive. Only the left and right arm bones have the dark gold terror claw bear's unique skill, the dark gold terror claw. With one swing of his claws, the sky and the earth were torn apart. Even a real dragon would have difficulty taking on such a terrifying attack head-on. Mr. Shuang, that's right, it's still me back then. It had scratched Yan with its sky-tearing claws in the entire starred-out Great Forest. In terms of combat power alone, it is second only to Emperor Yan. However, even the terror claw soul skills that appeared from the left and right arm bones could not compare with those of a real dark gold terror claw bear. Only the terror claw soul skills recorded in the metacarpal bones were the strongest. In addition to the quality of the soul bones, it is mainly due to the restriction of age. There are very few dark gold deer or claw bears that can be hunted that are over the 10,000-year level. After 10,000 years of cultivation, this guy becomes an almost perverted terror that even a titled Douluo cannot easily resist. There was once a soul master who obtained a left metacarpal bone, and earned the notorious reputation of being called the Dark Left Hand, and was later called Black Left Douluo. The only small flaw is that this dark gold deer or claw bear has only been cultivating for about 2,000 years, and the growth of this right metacarpal bone may take a long time. However, the sooner you absorb the external soul bone, the better the effect. Is this an external soul bone? In the sea of spirituality, Tianmeng's eyes widened and his voice trembled a little. For half a day, she had been diligently helping Huo Yuhao search for a suitable soul beast, and now she had obtained the right metacarpal bone. She finally understood the other party's intention. The most important thing is, if she was not mistaken, Yuhao's forced glue was not used. This was an external soul bone dropped by the wild. Could it be that Yuhao is the auspicious emperor beast among human soul masters? Xianmeng began to doubt. Don't forget, the torso bone I provided to Yuhao is also connected to 2 external soul bones. But the quality of this right palm bone is also good. When it grows up, it will be enough to exert the effect of a soul bone that is more than 100,000 years old. Although there was an element of self-boasting, Bingdi was feeling the same as Xianmeng at the moment. Extremely happy Tianmeng, who had not provided soul bones to Huo Yuhao, did not dare to interrupt. It's just a soul bone. Can it compare to the effect of a wisdom soul ring? She provided Yuhao with the possibility of a second martial soul. Of course, Tianmeng only complained about this in his heart. It's really sad to live with this violent scorpion. I miss Zudi a little bit. Huo Yuhao said that getting the external soul bone for free was a huge profit. There is also the rare delicacy of dark gold deer or claw bear meat, especially the deer or claw bear's paw, which is known as one of the top 10 delicacies in the world today. Huo Yuhao specifically used mental attacks in order to preserve its integrity to the greatest extent possible. Freeze the bear meat and put it into the flower bud. Since there was no one else present, Huo Yuhao immediately focused his mind, added the ice soul body to his body, and stretched out his right hand to start the fusion. Under the influence of Huo Yuhao's soul power, the right metacarpal bone seemed to melt and turned into a pool of dark golden liquid that slowly seeped into his right hand. The stronger the soul bone, the more difficult it is to fuse. Forcibly absorbing soul bones of higher levels may even cause soul bone backlash, which often results in death or disability. Most of the time it is because the soul master cannot withstand the power of the soul bone, causing the huge energy contained in the soul bone to counterattack on its own, just like Xiao Oxiao in the original novel. Even with the company of Super Douluo Xuanzi, Xiao almost had one of his hands crippled by the dark gold deer or claw bear's right metacarpal bone. If Huo hadn't taken action, Xiao's right hand would have been crippled. Huo Yuhao, is there a possibility that it's Xuanzi's problem? He now feels more and more the benefits of going out alone for Huo Yuhao. Fusing soul bones was a piece of cake. The blazing energy raged wildly, as if countless knives made of flames were madly cutting his palms. The power of the dark gold terror claw is actually gold, which brings out the sharp side of gold to the fullest. The madly exploding dark gold claw seemed to completely tear the right metacarpal bones apart. Faced with this crazy and rampant power, Huo Yuhao remained unmoved. The powerful mental force instantly suppressed the crazy thoughts in the right palm bone. The pain now is not even half as much as I felt back then. He is the man who once absorbed the Ice Emperor's torso bones beyond his level. In the original work, Huo, who was less than level 30, relied on the help of the Gold of Life, and his recovery ability offset the damage of the dark gold claws. Although Huo Yuhao does not have the gold of life yet, however, as his original martial soul, the ice soul body had a very high impact on his physical fitness. Coupled with his mental strength and physical fitness that far exceeded normal levels, he could completely control it. No surprises until Huo Yuhao's right palm turned completely dark gold. The bones became slightly larger, and the bones of the 5 fingers became wider at the top and narrower at the bottom. Some of them were shaped like sharp blades, and even the surrounding muscles were constantly wriggling and changing. The lines on the thick parts of the phalanges and metacarpals are cloud-like, while the sharp parts below are triangular-shaped lines, which are densely superimposed layer by layer, and each line seems to contain infinite power. Huo Yuhao let out a low growl, and suddenly raised his right arm. With a puff sound, blood spurted out from his 5 fingers. 5 dark golden rays of light suddenly extended from the 5 fingers of the right palm, about 1 foot and 2 inches long, wide at the top and narrow at the bottom, like a blade. The moment they appeared, the air unconsciously made a slight whistling sound, and Huo Yuhao's entire right hand had turned dark gold, and the wounds at the fingertips quickly healed. The finger and the sharp blade were seamlessly integrated into one. These 5 sharp blades are like extensions of his fingers. Then, a dark golden light suddenly rushed from his right palm in the opposite direction, along his right arm, and spread throughout his body in an instant. It was as if Huo Yuhao was baptized by this layer of dark golden light. Looking at the dark gold color on his palm, Huo Yuhao's mind moved slightly. The sharp blade disappeared quietly like melting ice and snow, and his right hand returned to normal. Even the dark gold color was contained in it. Fusion is successful. To be honest, looking at this dark gold claw, Huo Yuhao was reminded of a killing move in the Gu Master novel Odd Changes, even remains unchanged, 5-finger fist and sword. It can be said that the 5-finger fist heart sword is one of the top 8 defensive and killing moves. Maybe I can make a beggar's fist sword. End of this chapter. Chapter 79, Never force anything in your life. The ultimate sword move, 5-finger fist sword. Bo Qing, who created this killer move, came from a humble background, but he was extremely talented. He created his own sword-wielding insect, and traveled across the 5 realms, becoming invincible in the world. He is the most notable 8th-level peak powerhouse in the vast history, with outstanding combat power that is shocking. His original and most powerful killing move, the 5-finger fist sword. It is also one of the most powerful offensive and killing moves below the 9th level. Although Huo Yuhao has not yet obtained a poisonous insect related to swordsmanship, but there will definitely be opportunities later. The key lies in Jijuchen. Jijuchen, from the Royal Academy of the Sun Moon Empire, has an ordinary sword as his martial soul and only 3 levels of innate soul power, but he put his soul into the sword and walked his own path. He completely transformed his martial soul into energy rather than entity, and perfectly integrated it into a meteorite sword from outer space. The man is the sword and the sword is the man. There is no distinction between the two. His talent is amazing, and he can be said to be among the best in the Tang sect if it weren't in Douluo continent, but in a normal world of cultivating immortals, he might have been a natural swordsman with a clear sword heart. Moreover, he has a wife, Jing Zidai, and although it cannot be said that his experience is completely identical to Bo Qing's, there are at least some similarities. There was another reason to go to the Sun Moon Empire. It would be a complete waste of talent for such a sword fanatic to stay in the Sun Moon Empire, and Huo Yuhao could not miss the opportunity. However, the place called Sun and Moon can be said to be the base camp of the evil soul masters. Not only did he name the Holy Spirit Church as the Sun and Moon State Church and let it grow, the contemporary Sun and Moon Prince Su Xianren even recognized the Holy Spirit Church's supreme worshipper as his adoptive mother and worshipped the Holy Spirit Church's current leader as the state teacher. There are all kinds of messes, and the danger level is no less than Shrek. If Huo Yuhao really wants to find reliable teammates, it would be better to go to the Benti sect. Not only are they protective of their children, but they are also loyal and trustworthy. Pulling his thoughts back to their gradually divergent paths, Huo Yuhao stopped worrying about it. Start experimenting with the external soul bone you just obtained. There are 2 forms of dark gold or claws attached soul bones. Huo Yuhao raised his right hand, and a dark golden light flashed. 5 dark golden claws over a foot long, like blades, sprang out from his palm. In normal form, he can directly summon dark gold claws that can cut through iron like mud. The other is a soul skill form, which Huo Yuhao named the Sky-Splitting Claw. The extremely concentrated soul power is formed into a huge claw shadow, which is indestructible and can break anything. The effect is simple, but extremely lethal. Huo Yuhao's eyes narrowed slightly, and he swung the dark golden claw on his right palm towards the distant void. A strong dark golden light burst out instantly. In an instant, The dark gold claw turned into a 3-meter-long dark gold claw shadow in the air and slammed directly on the ground. Boom! Without stirring up any dust, 5 huge cuts 3 meters long instantly appeared on the ground, leaving 5 deep grooves until the attack was over. There was still a hissing sound like air leaking in the air. This is the power of bear. Now, every time Huo Yuhao uses the sky-splitting claw, he needs to consume at least 10% of his soul power, and the lethality is comparable to that of a 5-ring Soul King. The sky darkened and night fell. The Star-Dao forest is even more dangerous at night. As many terrifying soul beasts appear at this time of night for a soul master team of average strength, the mixed zone at night is extremely dangerous, and they will not stay here any longer in the Star-Dao Great Forest. Even with the cooperation of a team, one still needs to remain vigilant at all times. One also needs to deal with soul beasts that jump out from time to time to attack the team, which is very energy consuming. Therefore, at night, soul masters would generally retreat to the outer areas, or even directly exit the Star-Dao Great Forest, stay overnight and rest, waiting to enter the Star-Dao Great Forest again during the day the next day to look for suitable soul rings. This is also the normal process for hunting soul beasts. For Huo Yuhao, it was naturally not that troublesome. With the help of Xianmeng and Bingdi, as well as the all-round exploration of the spiritual detection and the simulated cover, everything was done with ease. As long as Huo Yuhao doesn't encounter an extraordinary level of existence, he can be said to be in an untamed place. This is true even in mixed areas, as the saying goes, "It has come, I feel itchy if I don't use this powerful goo in my hand." Besides, less than 3 days had passed since the 1-week deadline he and Ateo had agreed upon. Reserve 1 day for the journey, and there are still 3 days left. Huo Yuhao really didn't believe that he couldn't find a suitable soul beast to operate on the next time they come to the Star-Dao Great Forest. They will probably have to wait until Huo Yuhao's soul power level reaches level 40. By then, he will probably be able to absorb soul rings of about 40,000 to 50,000 a year. Soul beasts of this level are extremely difficult to find in the mixed area. Instead of wasting time in this mixed area, it is definitely better to go directly to the core area. The second turn to forcibly obtain the goo is ultimately limited by the number of turns. To be honest, if a 1,000-year-old external soul bone was not produced by a soul beast with a powerful bloodline, Huo Yuhao would not really look down on it. There is no way. He has too many cards up his sleeve now. If there is really no suitable soul beast, it is not impossible to save the Kyanqua for upgrading later. I just don't know when the upgrade function will be unlocked. There is also Xianmeng's task of improving soul power. He is already at level 33, but it has not been completed yet. Huo Yuhao cannot refuse this task. How to improve your strength without improving your soul power? In other words, Huo Yuhao is now stuck in the mission. The road is long and difficult. Don't force what is destined for you. I don't know if it was because of the drop of the dark gold terror claws attached soul bone that used up Huo Yuhao's luck. After a whole day, Huo Yuhao didn't encounter a suitable soul beast. Huo Yuhao flatly denied this. It must be the Red King's fault. It was all because of its impotent rage that all the soul beasts with powerful bloodlines in the mixed area disappeared. The only one left who was extremely daring was the blind little bear. Huo Yuhao made such malicious guesses. That's it. It's time to go back. Yuhao, pay attention to your 9 o'clock direction. There are people from Shrek. Huo Yuhao, who was about to return, heard Xianmeng's reminder and immediately shrank the range of his spiritual detection to a straight line, looking in the direction indicated by Xianmeng. His brows furrowed slightly. Then he activated a light rainbow goo and shot out violently. Wang Dong, leave first, along. With a loud phoenix cry, the 6 soul rings on Ateo's body shone brightly under the illumination of the flames, and the second and third soul rings lit up at the same time. The second soul skill, Phoenix and Fire. The third soul skill, Phoenix Wings Sky Soar. With the 2 amplifying skills added, the blazing phoenix flames burst out from her body like a blowout. The wings behind her flapped violently, pushing her body forward like a flaming meteor. With a fierce roaring air explosion, she blasted towards a giant black spider that exuded an extremely evil and cold aura like a cannonball. The distress signal has been sent. I wonder if Master Zhuan has seen it. Wang Dong also urged the goddess of light butterfly to run wildly to avoid the aftermath of the frontal battlefield. As a great soul master, I am really powerless. She was too weak and could do nothing. I hope Senior Ateo can successfully deal with this soul beast. End of this chapter. Chapter 80. The man faced demon spider. After Ateo and Zhang Lexun talked, The eldest sister left first and went to the starred-out Great Forest to look for Huo Yuhao's trace. Ateo also went to find Yan Xiao's and explained the situation to him in detail to be on the safe side. Yan Xiao's finally chose to go directly to Master Zhuan. Xiao Tao, don't worry. Yuhao is no fool, and Lexun has already rushed over. Even if things don't work out, we still have the help of the super Douluo Zhuan Lao, so it's absolutely foolproof. I know. Afterwards, Ateo, who was worriedly staying in Huo Yuhao's dormitory, met Wang Dong, who came to look for Huo Yuhao. After sharing the information, the two hit it off and prepared to head to the Star Forest. According to Wang Dong, she and Huo Yuhao both possessed the ability to fuse their martial souls, and there seemed to be a vague sense guiding her. This allowed Wang Dong to determine Huo Yuhao's general direction. Ateo didn't care about the truthfulness of Wang Dong's words, using this as an excuse. She also faced her own heart squarely, that is to go find Huo Yuhao. Even if it turns out to be a waste of effort, it's better than staying in the dormitory doing nothing. The one confronting Ateo was an extremely ferocious spider-type soul beast. The diameter of its main body is more than 5 meters, and its 8 spear-like legs are nearly 10 meters long. Its entire body is covered with a shiny black shell, and the front part of its long legs is slender. With every step forward, its long legs silently pierce into the ground, showing how sharp they are. The 8 long legs moved at a very fast speed, even creating a series of phantoms. There are some white lines on the spider's lower abdomen, which form a sharp contrast with its black body, and these white lines form the shape of a ferocious human face, with all the facial features, but its real eyes are actually hidden under the human face in the lower abdomen. Those 8 small eyes flashing with faint purple light release resentment and coldness. The man-faced spider, as a notorious race in the soul beast world, they are brutal and bloodthirsty. It is the nightmare of small soul beasts, a life-devouring being, the object of hatred of all soul beasts, and is known as the evil killer. As the pinnacle existence among poisonous soul beasts, the 10,000-year-old human-faced demon spider can make soul saint-level powerhouses extremely fearful in the starred-out Great Forest. Even a soul beast with 30,000 or 40,000 years of cultivation would not easily provoke this poisonous creature. This soul beast is not only incredibly fast, but also extremely powerful. It has 8 long legs that have extremely strong penetrating power and are highly poisonous, so it basically has no shortcomings. The most terrifying thing is its spider web. The spider web of the human-faced demon spider is directly sprayed out. It is not only extremely sticky, but also extremely tough, and it is also filled with horrific neurotoxins. As a freshman at Shrek, Wang Dong's knowledge of soul beasts is not ideal, but she could also tell that this human-faced demon spider was at least 10,000 years old, enough to contend with an ordinary soul sage, because after the human-faced demon spider reaches the strength of 10,000 years, it will develop a special skill of hiding, which can help it conceal its body and breath, and even block mental detection. It is precisely because of this stealth skill that its first move of web spitting has always been invincible. Wang Dong has already witnessed its horror. If it weren't for Ateo's instant soul skills, Wang Dong would probably have become a fish on the chopping board at this moment. The fourth soul skill, Phoenix Roaring Sky Strike. This skill was originally divided into 2 parts. The first was a dizzying air shock, followed by the Phoenix Lava Rush that was comparable to a magma eruption. As a genius in the inner courtyard, Ateo directly changed the charging method to instant release, avoiding the defective Phoenix Roaring Sky Strikes after hand restriction skill, and directly released the second stage. A loud phoenix cry was heard, and the phoenix flame instantly broke through the spider web. Wang Dong, leave first. Possessed by the butterfly of the goddess of light, Wang Dong moved away from the battlefield. Although she didn't know why she saw the 10,000 years demon face spider in the outer area of the starred-out Great Forest, she also sent out a distress signal from the heart. A ball of red light suddenly shot out from her hand, rising into the sky, and exploded after rising to a height of hundreds of meters, turning into countless tiny gold and red light spots that spread in the air. This distress signal from the inner courtyard of Shrek Academy was given to her by Ateo before. Unexpectedly, it actually came in handy. I don't know if Senior Ateo can successfully deal with this human-faced demon spider. At this moment, the human-faced demon spider was in agony because of the appearance of a sinister aura. Most soul beasts sought to avoid danger and either hid themselves completely or ran away due to the decrease in prey. The human-faced demon spider was forced to temporarily move away from its hunting grounds and lie dormant in the outer area. Unexpectedly, while resting, it suddenly sensed a disgusting breath of light, so, following the guidance of his heart, The human-faced demon spider took action directly. He directly used his innate soul skill, spider web binding. So what if you can fly? In its opinion, the spider web sneak attack, which was always effective, would definitely trap both humans, and after adding a mental paralysis toxin, the rest would be easy. Relying on the corrosive poison attached to their long legs, they can directly stab their prey, and even if the prey is contaminated a little, it will be fatal to them as an evil killer. The human-faced demon spider used this method to swallow countless soul beasts and soul masters who had penetrated deep into the star-dowsed forest. The taste of a human corpse is much more delicious than that of a soul beast, especially when the soul power has not completely disappeared. Then, the human-faced demon spider had a wall tricky idea. Wang Dong's worries were naturally unnecessary. As a student of Shrek Academy, Ma Xiaotao not only possesses powerful strength, but also has extremely strong soul skill control ability. Many methods of using soul skills are the secrets of Shrek Academy, and only inner court disciples who have signed a confidentiality agreement can learn them. And because of Huo Yuhao, Ma Xiaotao can fight to her heart's content without any worries about the evil fire, allowing her to use the strength of a level 64 Soul Emperor to fight against Soul Saint powerhouses. The human-faced demon spider in front of him had a cultivation level of only 20,000 years at most, and was restrained by his own phoenix flame. If we take it step by step, there will be no problem in taking down the human-faced demon spider. Ma Xiaotao has other reasons to worry. I don't know what happened before. The Stardew Great Forest is so dangerous now. I should have brought a few more people with me. Damn. The human-faced demon spider, we still need to end this quickly, think. So Ma Xiaotao, with two powerful soul skills, crashed into the human-faced demon spider. Boom. A horrific explosion occurred where the arrow landed, and a huge column of golden red flames rose up to a height of more than 10 meters. The human-faced demon spider reacted incredibly quickly. Its body bounced up quickly, avoiding most of the explosions, and then immediately adjusted its direction and pounced towards Ma Xiaotao with a sudden flap of his wings. Ma Xiaotao took off into the air again. The fifth soul ring lit up instantly. Even if the 8th spider lance dropped, Huo Yuhao would definitely not absorb it. End of this chapter. Chapter 81. Begin to struggle. In the vast soul beast forest, the cool air suddenly became scorching hot. A majestic red flame rose up with a loud phoenix cry. Ma Xiaotao's body suddenly became illusory at that moment. It seemed as if she had really merged into the flames and turned into an exquisite and gorgeous fire phoenix soaring in the sky. The golden red light from his feet shone brightly and he accelerated instantly with an incomparably brilliant tail flame, leaving golden red starlight in the air. Ma Xiaotao pounced on the human-faced demon spider. The fifth soul skill, Phoenix Cloud Piercer. Faced with this astonishing threat, the human-faced demon spider was obviously enraged. Without any hesitation, the hideous human face under its belly spewed out a thick white mist. The human-faced demon spider waved its 8 sharp and hard spider legs, wrapped in a fierce poisonous mist, protecting its body and turning it into a black afterimage. Boom, the two collided, and flames devoured the poison and exploded. What a terrifying skill! This human-faced demon spider is so powerful. Wang Dong once again retreated away from the battlefield. Observing the battlefield from afar with his purple demon pupil, she finally understood why Senior Xiaotao asked her to leave quickly. The toxicity of the white mist spewed out by the human-faced demon spider is beyond doubt. As the white mist spread, the plants were corroded instantly, and the area within a radius of several hundred meters was already in ruins. Fortunately, fire itself has a restraining effect on poison. Sister Xiaotao's phoenix flame is the most powerful among all flames. With her skills, she is sure to win. That's exactly what happened. The terrifying high-temperature flames burned the body and soul of the human-faced demon spider, making it difficult for it to develop the mentality to fight against it. Not daring to delay, the human-faced demon spider turned around and ran away. Want to run? Humph! Looking at the human-faced demon spider that turned around and ran away, Ma Xiaotao showed a trace of disdain at the corner of her mouth. She flapped the wings behind her again and moved her body horizontally out. The red light rose up fiercely along with the black light of the 6th soul ring in an instant. With her as the starting point, a large area of the sky was illuminated red. The 6th soul skill, Phoenix Meteor Shower. This is also Ma Xiaotao's most powerful soul skill. The golden red fireballs in the sky fell like flaming meteors. When the flaming meteors were about to approach the human-faced demon spider, they unexpectedly evolved into the form of phoenixes one by one, and instantly accelerated with a loud sound of phoenix calls. Soul beasts that have been cultivating for more than 10,000 years already possessed quite high intelligence coupled with a human-faced demon spider's own sensitivity. Once it was locked by this soul skill, its whole body suddenly shuddered, feeling its life threatened. The human-faced demon spider let out an extremely sharp howl, and a trace of anthropomorphic resentment and decisiveness flashed across its 8 eyes. A thick gray light suddenly burst out from the human-faced demon spider, and its already huge body expanded again. Like a huge millstone, countless sharp barbs grew on each of the thick spider legs, as if inlaid with countless daggers. Layers of gray air swirled around its body, making the thickness of its shell at least doubled. Possessed by the spider god, this human-faced demon spider has already decided to fight to the death. The skills it is displaying at this moment are like the true spirit of a human spirit master. It's just that the martial soul's true body is just a skill for soul masters, but the explosion of the human-faced demon spider at this time will burn its cultivation for every second it maintains the state of being possessed by the spider god. 1 year of its own cultivation will be burned up. Therefore, for it, this battle must be fought quickly and decisively. With a puff, a huge spider web spewed out from the mouth of the human-faced demon spider, intercepting the phoenix meteor shower. This terrifying spider web was also completely gray, and its coverage area was as high as hundreds of square meters. Amidst a loud bang, a red light suddenly burst out. Afterwards, the human-faced demon spider pushed its hind legs against the ground, and despite the attack of the phoenix meteor shower, its huge body rushed straight towards Mazaya Ateo. Not good. The strong pressure made Mazaya Ateo feel odd. She also didn't expect that the Jedi counterattack of the human-faced demon spider in front of her would be so powerful. Mazaya Ateo also immediately recognized the skill of spider god possession, but it doesn't matter, just continue to maintain the high altitude advantage and proceed steadily. So as she stopped releasing the phoenix meteor shower, crimson flames suddenly appeared from his legs, ripples emerged, and phoenix flames spurted out. Soul bone skill. Speed up. Mazaya Ateo's legs have absorbed soul bones, and they are all 10,000-year-old soul bones produced by the same kind of soul beast, and the soul skills obtained are also the same soul skills. The acceleration provided by the 2 soul bones was so terrifying that in just a moment, Mazaya Ateo soared hundreds of meters and instantly distanced herself from the desperate human-faced demon spider. The human-faced demon spider suddenly noticed that Mazaya Ateo was moving away and was stunned for a moment. Then he landed directly on the ground and ran wildly towards Wang Dong. Even with the help of the spider god, the human-faced demon spider that forcefully consumed the phoenix meteor shower was not in good condition under the high temperature explosion of the phoenix flame. Even the reinforced hard shell of the human-faced demon spider could not withstand it, and large cracks appeared on its back. The possession of the spider god is its dying counterattack and also its last struggle. The human-faced demon spider, knowing that it could do nothing to this fire-attributed human, was not stubborn, but that stinking breath of light must die. I don't know why, but when I felt its breath, it was like I had met my natural enemy. The human-faced demon spider decided to follow the guidance of his heart. Wang Dong, be careful. The human-faced demon spider is targeting you, Ma. Zaya Ateo also gave a reminder immediately, and soon after, her body turned into a red light with a dazzling tail flame, chasing after the human-faced demon spider. Hearing Mazaya Ateo's reminder, Wang Dong naturally did not dare to neglect it. The dazzling blue and gold wings of the goddess of light butterfly spread out again, flapping with all her might to rise into the air, quickly moving away from the battlefield. However, since Wang Dong's soul power level was too low, the gap between his strength and that of the human-faced demon spider was too great. The latter was even possessed by the spider god, and was accelerating at full speed, rapidly closing the distance between them. Fortunately, the acceleration effect of the soul bone still exists. Mazaya Ateo's pursuit speed was extremely fast, and wherever he passed, a series of explosions and sharp whistles could be heard in the air. Soon he caught up with a human-faced demon spider. The human-faced demon spider was not willing to be outdone. It aimed at Wang Dong and instantly shot out a spider web hundreds of meters long to bind him. The gray spider web completely blocked Wang Dong's retreat. Wang Dong's whole body was sending out strong warnings. She knew that if she was trapped in the spider web, she would either die or be injured, but there was no other way. Even Mazaya Ateo could not help in this situation. The distance was too far, and the strengthened spider web could not be easily destroyed. She can only give it a try. The purple soul ring behind him instantly lit up. The light of the butterfly god, the intense blue-gold light suddenly brightened above the azure wings. The golden light patterns burst out with strong brilliance. However, the spider web that covers the sky shows no signs of abating. It was like a butterfly trapped in a spider web, struggling feebly and in vain. Today is gone. End of this chapter. If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelis. There you'll find the original version of this story, and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We're waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 82, The King Descends from the Sky. Mazaya Ateo's eyes had turned a fiery red. She was extremely angry at this moment. The situation that was originally a sure win turned out to be like this by myself. Mazaya Ateo really couldn't imagine that this human-faced demon spider was not only extremely cunning, but also possessed such a rare trick as being possessed by the spider god. Since it was possessed by the spider god, even if Mazaya Ateo fired at full power, it would be difficult to confront the opponent head-on. Because of this, the only flaw was discovered by the human-faced demon spider. It was also my fault that I got carried away while fighting and didn't notice the real purpose of the human-faced demon spider. I should have discovered it earlier. The human-faced demon spider's first attack was directly towards Wang Dong. The quality of Wang Dong's martial soul, the bright goddess butterfly, is extremely high, even compared to the bright phoenix martial soul possessed by his teacher. It is not inferior. This extremely rich power of light can be said to be the natural enemy of evil soul beasts, such as the human-faced demon spider, but Wang Dong's soul power is only level 22 after all, and the gap between him and the 20,000-year-old soul beast human-faced demon spider that is attacking with all its might is too huge. What's more, it's a fight between trapped beasts. A cornered dog will do something desperate, let alone a 10,000-year-old soul beast that is intelligent and extremely cunning. Don't chase a desperate enemy, let alone this evil killer. Although she felt extremely remorseful and angry, Mazaya Ateo did not lose her mind. The instantaneous skill of spider web binding is extremely sticky and tough. Even a 20,000-year-old human-faced demon spider can only use a limited number of them in a day. Even if a powerful soul master is covered by it, it will take time to break free, and unlike the first sneak attack launched by the human-faced demon spider, that time Mazaya Ateo could rely on the instant Phoenix Roaring Sky attack to break the spider web. At this time, the human-faced demon spider is in a state of being possessed by the spider god. The spider web it uses to bind it also has a gray light flowing. Its durability is undoubtedly at a higher level, almost undergoing a qualitative change. For example, before, even when Mazaya Ateo used her most powerful 10,000 years soul skill, she was still unable to break through the spider web blockade at a single point in an instant. Plus there's the limit on the distance between the two people. Mazaya Ateo is now completely unable to intercept the spider web that was instantly released. All she could do was to quickly get rid of the human-faced demon spider in front of her. Fortunately, compared to the deadly poison on the human-faced demon spider, especially its 8 spear-like spider legs, the neurotoxins in spider webs are much weaker and are not fatal as long as you break free from the web in time. As long as Mazaya Ateo can quickly get rid of the opponent in front of her, she can save Wang Dong. Hold on, Wang Dong. I'll be here to help you right away. As his thoughts flashed, Mazaya Ateo shouted loudly, and the soul ring behind him flashed with dazzling light. The golden red flames engulfed the human-faced demon spider again. There is no escape. Wang Dong in midair stopped releasing the light of the butterfly god. Faced with a spider web that covered the sky, she was really helpless. Use the clear sky hammer? Not to mention that he was in midair and couldn't gain any leverage. What would it matter even if he used the sect's secret skills? Use hidden weapons. Wang Dong remembered the treasure bag that Senior Xiaoya gave him not long ago. It was full of hidden weapons, a hidden weapon library, with more than a dozen kinds of weapons, including flying knives, flying needles, and bone-piercing nails, and each type had hundreds of pieces. Over the past month, Wang Dong's progress in Tang Sec's unique skills has been rapid, so he has also begun to learn how to use hidden weapons. So far, she has mastered 2 or 3 techniques, and has no problem using hidden weapons accurately for freshmen like them who only have 1 or 2 spirit rings. It still poses a considerable threat, but it is of no help to the current situation. The Tang Sect's unique skills can no longer be relied upon. Even the secret skills of the Haoshan sect couldn't save her, let alone the Tang Sect's unique skills. His own soul power level is too low, and the clear sky hammer has no soul ring attached to it. It is really like a cook without rice, but he cannot cook without it. Where's Master Xuan? Please save him. Didn't Sister Xiao Tao say that this Super Douluo is also in the starred out Great Forest? It's been so long since the distress signal was sent out. Why is there no one here? Ugh, it would be great if Huo Yuhao was here. The two of them work together and use their martial soul fusion skills to break through this layer of spider web. They might even be able to help Sister Xiao Tao in her battle. Thinking of this, Wang Dong smiled helplessly. What on earth am I thinking about right now? Wasn't she going out this time just to look for Yuhao's whereabouts? But in the end she was the one who was in danger and needed Huo Yuhao's help. He clearly came out to offer help, but ended up being a hindrance. She still overestimated herself. The so-called connection between the two of them was, in the final analysis, just a vague feeling. The accuracy has not been verified in practice. Moreover, in such a dangerous situation, it's better for Yuhao not to come. Although he was the top freshman, he even defeated senior Su Sanchi. But since we are all second-ring great soul masters, we should not get involved in such a fierce battle. Wang Dong took a deep breath at this extremely critical moment. All she could do was to curl up her body as much as possible to withstand the smallest attack. In a flash Wang Dong shuddered. The surrounding temperature dropped rapidly. Cold, extremely cold, just like the start of school. There's a familiar chill. Someone is coming. It's Yuhao. In just a moment. Wang Dong clearly saw the horrific effect brought about by the extreme coldness. As the deep blue light spread, the coldness bypassed Wang Dong, the air solidified, and everything froze. The surrounding trees were instantly frozen and turned into ice sculptures. The whole world instantly turned completely white and turned into a world of ice and snow. The spider web from the human-faced demon spider was naturally frozen as well, and then fell powerlessly from mid-air. Are you okay, eh? Familiar voice sounded in mid-air. Huo Yuhao suddenly appeared, standing in the air, as if he had crossed thousands of mountains and rivers. This is naturally also a small application of space control. Apart from the poisonous insect, Huo Yuhao still cannot fly, but with the help of his spirit eye martial soul and his control over space, Huo Yuhao could walk as if on the ground. Even in the air the North Sea ice soul domain dissipated, but the ice and snow within 100 meters radius took a long time to dissipate. You're here, Yuhao? I shouldn't be late. Looking at the familiar figure from behind, Wang Dong's eyes were filled with mist. In the sea of spirit, Yan Meng's excited voice rang out. Good job, Yuhao. Luckily you arrived in time. Bingdi reminded, why don't you go help your senior sister? The strength of that human-faced demon spider is not weak. Indeed, Yuhao, there's still a chance for a hero to save the beauty there. We are counting on you, Xianmeng. Agreed with this. Even Wang Dong, who was hugging Huo Yuhao tightly, spoke up. Yuhao, use the martial soul fusion technique? We can help Sister Xia Ateo. Martial soul fusion skills. Now, here. Huo Yuhao shook his head. That's not necessary. He was really convinced Huo Yuhao can make a judgment directly now. Such a deliberate arrangement must have been done by the sea god. End of this chapter. Chapter 83, Unexpected Soul Bone. Originally Huo Yuhao didn't need to be so stuck, but on his way to the rescue, he encountered a Cheng Yaojin who blocked his way. An unexpected soul beast actually set its sights on him and interrupted Huo Yuhao's use of the light rainbow goo. Even Huo Yuhao, who was considered to be knowledgeable in identifying soul beasts, could not recognize its specific species. The soul beast's true form was a large, oval-shaped floating eyeball that emitted a deep blue light. It is somewhat similar to the evil eye tyrant, but this soul beast has no tentacles. It's simply outrageous. When Bingdi saw this, his eyes turned dark. Only Xianmeng has some understanding. I can't say that I recognized it. I can only say that I have some guesses. According to Tianmen, this soul beast should be considered a member of the demon spirits clan. The demon spirit ranks 10th among the 10 fierce beasts, at the bottom of the list, but it is the most mysterious of the 10 fierce beasts. As a time traveler, Huo Yuhao knew that the soul beast Yaoling had never appeared during the entire period of unrivaled Tang sect. No one knows what its capabilities are, and no one knows what its true nature is. It can be said to be one of the 10 most ferocious beasts. There is no exact description of its race and abilities in the plot, but it is hinted that the abilities of the demon spirit are somewhat similar to those of the 10,000 Demon King, which ranks 4th among the 10 most ferocious beasts. In short, no matter whether this soul beast is a member of the demon spirit clan, Huo Yuhao knew that there was indeed a connection between him and it. He could sense it through his spiritual eyes. The opponent's main attribute is also spiritual, and it also has a hint of time and space attributes. What's even more coincidental is that the age of this soul beast is exactly around 2,000 years. This is the mutual attraction between stand users. The other party had set his sights on his martial soul, and Huo Yuhao also had his eyes on the other party's external soul bone. As the discoverer of this soul beast, Huo Yuhao named it the Eye of Time and Space. So, after solving the problem of the time and space demon eye, Huo Yuhao used force to extract the goo and obtained a diamond-shaped crystal the size of a fingernail, which emitted a light blue light all over. Some of them are similar to the external soul bones that exploded from the pupils of the evil eye tyrant in the original work. The external soul bones dropped by the time and space demon eye are also fused at the center of the eyebrows. Although there was a conflict in position with the soul bone attached to the pupil in the original book, Huo Yuhao knew at this time and space demon eye with attached soul bone is absolutely very suitable for me. Now that you're here, the trajectory of your fate has already changed. Could he still watch Kyo sacrifice herself to him like in the original novel and obtain the three-eyed golden lion skull of destiny? Would that be a waste of time? Huo Yuhao, I think the skull of the evil eye tyrant is quite good. Therefore, Huo Yuhao planned to absorb the soul bone attached to the time and space demon eye. Of course, after returning to college, time waits for no one. I don't know if it's because of Wang Dong, this piece of Tang monk's meat. On the way to rescue, Huo Yuhao encountered several rare soul beasts that he had been desperately trying to obtain, but since forcibly taking the goo as a one-time consumption, he no longer had the interest to continue to get the external soul bone. With Dian Meng's reminder, Huo Yuhao discovered not only Wang Dong and Ma Ziaotao, Xian Meng even noticed Zhuangzi's arrival. Yuhao, the super Douluo who tested you in front of the Sea God Pavilion last time, is also nearby. Be careful, Huo. Yuhao expressed helplessness, not to mention that he had only disappeared for a few days and yet Zhuangzi, the weapon of causality, was deployed. Why did Wang Dong appear here by such a coincidence, and bringing Ma Ziaotao with you? It's really worrying. He recognized the human-faced demon spider at a glance, and it was not young, at least 20,000 years old, especially the state of being possessed by the spider god. Isn't this the crisis that the God-King Tang encountered 10,000 years ago? How similar is the human-faced demon spider that appeared throughout the entire book of Dao Yi? Huo Yuhao remembered that it appeared very frequently. 3,000 years, 6,000 years, 30,000 years, every time the human-faced demon spider appears, it is always closely related to Xiao Wu. It can be said that the human-faced demon spider is also a benefactor to the God-King Tang and his scabbard wife. Oh no, it is a noble beast. There is also Tang San's external soul bone, the 8-spider lance, which continues to evolve rapidly by devouring human-faced demon spiders. There is even a rumor that is the noble beast of the sea god. The human-faced demon spiders in the starred-out Great Forest were killed to extinction. No one knows how this 20,000-year-old human-faced demon spider managed to survive, and even possesses the ultimate move of being possessed by the spider god. Don't you think that with the help of the human-faced demon spider, he can help him and Wang Dong establish a bond? Somewhat funny and many more. It seems that it does have some effect. Wang Dong's relationship, confidant achievement task, waiting for refresh. Wang Dong really gave it away for free. I have no way to repay the hero for saving my life, so I can only repay him with my life. Fortunately, he is handsome enough. Otherwise, I will work like a slave in the next life to repay this great kindness. We can't just interfere in a battle of this level. We just need to protect ourselves. Huo Yuhao also gave an explanation. This is indeed the case. Ma Ziaotao herself is a gifted evil fire phoenix soul master. Her powerful martial soul and soul bones make her much stronger than an ordinary 6-ring soul emperor. With the help of Huo Yuhao, Ma Ziaotao can fight with all her strength without any worries, and her combat power has reached the soul sage level. When she burst out with all her strength, the 6 spirit rings on her body seemed to come alive, shining alternately, and with each change, she could display the most appropriate spirit skill. It is fast as the wind and aggressive as fire. As time went by, the desperate human-faced demon spider had no chance at all. Well, if nothing unexpected happens, Huo Yuhao felt that there should be no more surprises. Although he said this to Wang Dong, but secretly Soul Blast, start. Just control the human-faced demon spider directly. It is better to deal with this human-faced demon spider as soon as possible to avoid any more trouble. Was it Yuhao who took action? Ma Ziaotao was a little confused, but when she saw the human-faced demon spider being forcibly controlled, she did not miss this good opportunity. The black soul ring shone with dazzling light again. Human-faced demon spider, death. Yuhao, Ma Ziaotao rushed over happily. We were really worried about you leaving without saying goodbye. Huo Yuhao only felt that the 2 large car lights in front of him were fluctuating violently. Is there a possibility that I left a message in advance and went to hunt souls alone? After hearing what Huo Yuhao said, Ma Ziaotao said, why doesn't Soul Hunter ask the Academy for help? It's too dangerous for you to come to the starred-out Great Forest alone. Wang Dong also nodded, yes, I don't know why, even in the outer area, there are 10,000-year level soul beasts. We must not be careless. The main reason is that I feel it might be safer to go out alone. Huo Yuhao said, You should be more careful following Xuanzi out. The outcome would be either death or injury. Isn't that human-faced demon spider that suddenly appeared an example? Don't say it. Good fortune lies behind misfortune, and misfortune lies behind good fortune. This human-faced demon spider seems to have been shipped. I don't know whether it was unexpected or expected. Although he's not interested, it may have a huge effect on some people. Recommend a book from Kidian. My wife and the Empress exchanged bodies. End of this chapter. Chapter 84. It's better to lack than to waste. Sister Xiaotao, you're lucky. It seems like you got a soul bone. After Huo Yuhao's reminder, he finally broke free from the restraints. Soul bone? Let me see. Ma. Xiaotao stopped hugging Huo Yuhao. She turned to look at the corpse of the human-faced demon spider, and under the dark soul ring, it was indeed emitting a strange soul power fluctuation. Afterwards, the three of them took out a dark leg soul bone. It was a small bone, seemingly only as long as a palm, with a deep black light that was restrained, as if swallowing up all the light around it. After the soul bone appeared, the strong fluctuations of soul power made the air seem to become sticky. Wang Dong subconsciously held his breath. Even the knowledgeable Ma Xiaotao couldn't help but feel a little warm in her heart when she saw this soul bone, and her beautiful eyes were shining. It's indeed a soul bone. Both women exclaimed in unison. It's a pity that it's the right leg bone. Huo Yuhao felt a little regretful, as he thought it was the Sigurd spear. Unfortunately not. Soul bones are extremely valuable and are one of the most expensive items in Douluo continent. Except for soul bones for personal use, soul bones are generally owned by the wealthy. In auction houses in any country, soul bones will always be the most precious items. Any soul bone can only be traded with a minimum of 100,000 gold soul coins, and in most cases, soul bones can only be traded through barter, especially the 100,000-year soul bone, which is a truly priceless treasure. It is a treasure that will inevitably attract the attention of all titled Douluo and has never appeared in any auction house or merchant like the Jubeo pavilion that Huo Yuhao had entered before. Shops that dared to display 10,000-year-old soul bones were extremely rare. This is because Jubeo pavilion has the Shrek background, which gives it the confidence to protect such a treasure. Therefore, one can imagine the high quality of this soul bone produced from a 20,000-year-old human-faced demon spider. Among the 10,000-year-old soul bones, it is definitely the top level one, and its selling price is at least to the level of tens of millions of gold coins. Ma Xiaotao looked at Huo Yuhao and the other person. Although we cannot absorb the spirit ring of this human-faced demon spider, the spirit bone is different. Yuhao, does anyone want to fuse it? Indeed, soul bones do not need to be like soul rings, which limit who can fuse with a soul beast. Moreover, the biggest advantage of soul bones is that different fused martial souls will produce different skills, making them highly versatile. Most soul masters use whatever soul bones they have, or even sell them directly for money. Even powerful soul masters with great wealth and power will only pursue the age and bloodline quality of the soul bone, and only consider issues related to compatibility at the end. No one has stipulated that offensive spirit masters cannot fuse life-type spirit bones. Tang San and his son gave a thumbs up. Basically, as long as the age is high. What else do you need a bicycle for? Although the right leg bone of the human-faced demon spider is more suitable for soul masters of the agility, attack and control types, that is only relatively speaking. No matter what kind of martial soul a soul master possesses, if he can fuse such a top-grade soul bone, it will greatly improve his own strength. Soul bones greatly enhance soul masters, especially in terms of physical fitness. If you fuse soul bones early, you will be able to absorb soul rings of higher ages later. Huo Yuhao shook his head to refuse. Judging from its aura, it should have inherited the devouring properties of the human-faced demon spider, which is not suitable for me. Wang Dong also waved his hands repeatedly. I didn't contribute to this battle, so I definitely can't take it. And if Sister Xiaotao wasn't here, I would have died at the hands of the human-faced demon spider. It's reasonable and logical that this soul bone belongs to Sister Xiaotao. Ma Xiaotao raised her eyebrows and pretended to be angry. What are you talking about? If Yuhao hadn't made the final move, the outcome of the counterattack by the human-faced demon spider would still be unknown. And it was me who brought you, Wang Dong, to the Xingdao Great Forest, and I must bring you back intact according to the rules of the Soul Master world. This soul bone is a common trophy for the three of us. I have already absorbed the soul bones of my legs, and the properties do not suit me, so I will leave it to you to distribute. Hearing this, Huo Yuhao secretly complained in his heart. In fact, maybe this soul bone is unexpectedly suitable for you. As the Holy Spirit Saint in the original work, Maybe this soul bone can make the Dark Phoenix be born earlier? Of course, Huo Yuhao would never let this happen again. Even if millennia-old wants to be a saint in the future, she has to be one here with him. Here the Holy Spirit teaches the son. The Orthodox Holy Spirit Church is in Shrek. Wang Dong still shook his head again and again. No, no, besides, my martial arts attributes are not suitable, so you should keep it for yourself, Sister Tao. So, after some pushing and shoving, Huo Yuhao finally accepted the right leg bone of the human-faced demon spider. Since you can't use it, just keep it for yourself. You can't hand it over to Shrek, right? Although it is an extremely precious 10,000-year soul bone, but Huo Yuhao's vision is not limited to this. Even if it was an external soul bone that could grow, he would rather have nothing than something with something else, let alone this soul bone that had a limited lifespan. With his talent, what kind of soul bone will he not be able to access in the later stages? 100,000-year soul beast will definitely drop soul bones. There are quite a few 100,000-year soul beasts known about through the original plot alone. There are no sea soul beasts on the mainland, but there are sea soul beasts in the ocean if all else fails. There is also the 100,000 years old immortal grass from the yin-yang eyes of ice and fire as a backup as long as the mind does not slip. There are more solutions than difficulties. He is not from the Tang sect and will not abide by the Tang sect's rules. When he becomes strong enough, he will directly destroy the yin-yang eyes of ice and fire. Just as Huo Yuhao and millennia-old were getting along harmoniously, Zhang Lexun was on her way on horseback a few kilometers away. As the first professional search and rescue player to arrive at the starred out Great Forest, she took a rough tour of the mixed area of the Star Forest first. Eliminate the possibility of entering the core area with Huo Yuhao's current soul power level. Even if he is a genius, Zhang Lexun feels that he can only absorb a 10,000-year level soul ring, at most the third ring of 10,000 years. This is already a great trust in Huo Yuhao. There may not be much left. It couldn't be that Huo Yuhao was deliberately hiding himself, right? Zhang Lexun felt that the probability of this happening was very small during this month as the eldest senior sister in the inner courtyard. Zhang Lexun naturally cares about the new junior brothers who have joined. Huo Yuhao was given all the necessary arrangements in terms of food, clothing, housing and transportation because Huo Yuhao would occasionally seek out Zhang Lexun to exchange combat experience and soul master knowledge. The relationship between the two is also good. Zhang Lexun believed that if Huo Yuhao could sense her breath, he would definitely come out to meet her. It's Millennia-old who is so concerned that she is confused. Zhang Lexun shook her head. It's just a soul hunt. Tall trees cannot grow in a greenhouse, and an eagle cannot fly out of a birdcage. As an inner court disciple, going out alone is a very common thing. Since Yuhao left a letter, he must have made sufficient preparations. Maybe Yuhao just wanted to come out for a field investigation before deciding on the type of the third soul ring. While thinking, Zhang Lexun sensed the distress signal from the inner courtyard disciples. Outer area? Is it Yuhao? Or someone else? Zhang Lexun's figure instantly disappeared from the spot and quickly headed towards the signal transmission area. No matter who is in danger, she can't just ignore it. End of this chapter. Chapter 85. Did I come at the wrong time? Peripheral area. It's getting dark because a distress signal was sent out. The three decided to wait here for Zhuangzi and Zhang Lexun. Huo Yuhao didn't care. After all, these two people came to find him, so there was no harm in waiting for a while. With Huo Yuhao guarding here, and millennia-old and Wang Dong having achieved their goals, the two of them can relax for a while. The two sat down and practiced meditation to quickly restore their soul power. During the time they were practicing, Huo Yuhao took out a barbecue grill through the storage soul guide, thawed, skinned, washed, and skewered a large piece of fat gold deer or claw bear meat. Because Wang Dong didn't contribute much in this battle, she woke up soon. Wang Dong's eyes lit up and he swallowed. Although she wanted to eat it, she still reminded carefully, Yuhao, I remember our teacher once taught us that we must not light a fire where there are soul beasts. It's okay, we're just in the outer area, and with me here, I can see everything that happens nearby. Ho! Yuhao explained as he cut the bear meat skillfully. This is the meat of the dark gold deer or claw bear, a rare delicacy, and also a trap for Master Zhuan. I believe he will appear soon. Zhuan. Lao trap. Wang Dong became puzzled. How could a mere barbecue be related to Super Douluo, Master? Zhuan's martial spirit is very special. He has no resistance to delicious food. There is only one way to make Taodi Douluo Zhuanzi appear, and that is to roast the bear meat into skewers. Huo Yuhao roasted the meat strips, turning the iron skewers over and over in his hands, with a strong control over the heat. Although there is no honey, The flavor is still excellent thanks to the secret seasoning. It didn't take long before golden oil appeared on the meat strips and a rich aroma immediately filled the air. Smell good, ma. Xiao was also alarmed and immediately stopped practicing after occasional feeding within a month. Ma Xiao had long been conquered by Huo Yuhao's cooking skills. She immediately joined Wang Dong's camp and looked at Huo Yuhao eagerly, her domineering temperament completely gone. Here, yours, pour your own drinks. After Huo Yuhao handed each person a skewer of bear meat, he used the cold air to chill the drinks prepared on the side. Thank you, Yuhao. When you put the meat strips into your mouth, a rich but not greasy aroma instantly blooms between your taste buds, like the first rays of dawn. Warm and bright, the tenderness of the meat is beyond imagination, as if it has turned into thousands of delicate fibers, dancing gracefully on the tip of the tongue, bringing an indescribable satisfaction and pleasure as the fragrant gravy enters your stomach. Not only does your mouth feel sweet, but a feeling of heat also fills your stomach, which seems to take away the tension and fatigue of the day. In an instant their eyes lit up and they exchanged a knowing smile. It's really a rare delicacy. Yuhao, your cooking skills have improved again. When Zhang Lexun arrived late, what we saw was such a happy scene. Wang Dong and Ma Xiao helped clean and cut up the bear meat, and occasionally sneak some. Huo Yuhao was concentrating on grilling meat. Master, sister, you are here. Ho Yuhao greeted Ma Xiao, and Wang Dong also called her senior sister. You guys are. Zhang Lexun pursed her lips slightly, looking puzzled. Maybe she came at the wrong time? Huo Yuhao looked at Zhang Lexun. His eyes seemed to see through her soul and see her inner thoughts. Big sister, you came at the right time. Let's eat together. For example, at the Poseidon Island barbecue held once a week, perhaps because of Bibai, Zhang Lexun had always refused Huo Yuhao's invitation, although it has not been carried out many times. In short, this is a good opportunity to improve your favorability. Yes, senior sister, this dark gold terror claw bear meat is delicious. Let's eat while waiting for Master Xuan. Ma Xiao also provided assists. It is good. Zhang Lexun hesitated for a moment and finally nodded. Although Yuhao has been found, the mission is accomplished, but since Master Xuan is also here, we can wait together. It is also to protect the safety of my junior brothers. Even in the outer area, we must not be careless. Zhang Lexun felt better after receiving the barbecue from Huo Yuhao and thanked him with a smile. Thank you, junior brother. You're welcome, bear meat entrance. It is very delicious indeed. Just as Zhang Lexun was enjoying the barbecue, suddenly there was a sound of breaking air in the sky. Looking up, they saw a ball of cocky light moving in the air at an extremely fast speed, and then falling towards their location. That's it, Master Xuan. Zhang Lexun was the first to recognize it. Xuanzi came to the ground, extremely shocked, and asked anxiously, this smell, could it be the meat of a dark gold deer or claw bear? It is worthy of being called a Xuanzi trap. It is very efficient. Huo Yuhao nodded and said, that's right. During this trip to the Xingdao Great Forest, by chance, I encountered a 2,000-year-old dark gold terror claw bear. 2,000 years? Yuhao, you're not hurt, right? Zhang Lexun asked with concern. The 2,000-year level dark gold deer or claw bear is more powerful than an ordinary 10,000-year soul beast. Even a veteran soul king will have a headache when encountering it. I am fine. Ho Yuhao pointed at the bear meat, and everything was said without words. Zhang Lexun then added, Yuhao, if you have any special needs for your third spirit ring, you can come to us for help directly. Xuan Z smiled proudly. That's right, Xiao Yuhao, if you have any soul beast requirements, you can ask me for help. Look, I will catch it for you. Ho Yuhao shook his head. I will tell you if there is a need. As for the third ring, I have already absorbed it. There is really no need to trouble the academy for a mere 1,000-year soul beast. The spirit eye possessed his body, and 3 spirit rings rose up under his feet, yellow and purple. This was naturally an illusion simulated by Huo Yuhao's second soul skill. After careful consideration, Huo Yuhao felt that it would be most appropriate for the third millennium ring to appear. It could explain why he went out alone, and it also wouldn't prevent him from maintaining his image as a top genius. If the third ring of 10,000 years were to be exposed, it would be too high profile for people outside the academy. I have a promising future, but I am not invincible now. Steady, wait until the 4th ring, and then naturally reach 10,000 years. That's good. Seeing that Huo Yuhao's plan was indeed thorough, Zhang Lexun finally felt relieved. Achievement triggered. Achieve Zhang Lexuan's Protect Junior Brother achievement and receive Moonlight Goo as a reward. Moonlight Goo, a second-level goo that can activate Moonblade Goo to attack. Its attack power is 3 times that of Moonlight Goo. Evaluation: sorry, Little Light Goo, I am not your Moonlight Goo. Let's get down to business. Xuanzi came up immediately and said, "Hey, Huo Yuhao. The meat of the dark gold deer or claw bear is a rare delicacy. Can I have a taste of it?" Seeing his hopeful expression, Huo Yuhao also understood what the other party meant. "Master Xuan, do you have any raw poultry eggs on you?" Xuan Lao rolled his eyes and asked, "What's so difficult about this?" As soon as he finished speaking, there was a flash of light on his hand, and 7 or 8 colorful eggs appeared in his hand. "This is a golden pheasant egg, is it okay, old?" Xuan said with some pride. "Okay, I'll show you an advanced version of barbecue later." Xuan Zia relationship, friends achievement task, barbecue, I want to eat. No, today I will try to update again next month. Thank you all for your support. End of this chapter. Chapter 86, New Guan Return. Wang Dong's eyes widened. Master Xuan, you actually carry eggs with you? Yuhao was the same. He never forgot to prepare these barbecue utensils when he went out to hunt souls, and he also got in touch with Master Xuan. It feels like both the old and the young are not doing their jobs properly. Is he a soul master or a chef? Master Xuan chuckled and said mysteriously, I can do without anything except food. Not to mention eggs, I have almost all the food you can name. I would not feel at ease if I go out without more than 10 cubic meters of food. For this reason, I even asked Jin Duoluo to make a storage soul guide for me that can keep food fresh. Ma. Zia Ateo laughed and said, Master Xuan, you really deserve the name of Teodi. Ho. Yuhao did not comment and took the eggs from the golden pheasant, not to mention carrying food with him. Even when the Grand Elder came to the starred-out Great Forest on a mission, he would not forget to get some game. When Bian Meng accidentally found Xuanzi before, she discovered that this guy was actually stealing eggs, and the victim was none other than the golden pheasant. Fortunately, Huo Yuhao did not expect Xuanzi to provide any protection. Just don't hold everyone back, start grilling again. At this moment, Xuanzi was squatting beside the barbecue grill like a little child, swallowing his saliva while staring at Huo Yuhao with strange eyes. Huo Yuhao shook his head in his heart, but his hands kept moving. Top quality ingredients like dark gold deer or claw bear meat do not require excessive cooking or too many seasonings. Their taste is top-notch in itself. Moreover, the dark gold deer or claw bear meat is absolutely nutritious. Even in the Shrek Inner Courtyard cafeteria, it is a rare delicacy as the strips of meat were roasted a few times under the flames. Huo Yuhao moved back to the front, sprinkled some seasoning on them, and then used a brush dipped in the raw egg he had just mixed to smear them all over. Is it done? This is the first time I see raw egg smeared on meat. Before he finished speaking, the meat was stuffed into his mouth. Xuanzi swallowed a strip of meat in just 2 or 3 gulps. Xuanzi's eyes lit up, tears streamed down his face, and he couldn't help but let them fall from the corners of his mouth. He regretted it. He really regretted not taking Huo Yuhao under his wing before Mulao did. What a delicacy it would be if Yuhao was his apprentice. I must take Yuhao to travel all over the country and train him to become the best chef in the continent. It's a pity. No, in the face of Shrek's brilliant plan, Xuanzi still knew the importance of it. Although Master Mu did not formally accept a disciple, everyone in the Sea God Pavilion was tacitly aware of it. As long as Huo Yuhao has no major problems with his character, he will definitely be the future leader of the Sea God Pavilion. In response to this, Xuanzi took the lead in supporting Yuhao and voting for him. As long as the relationship is good, wouldn't it be much easier to get extra money in the future? The next step, of course, is to feast on the food achievement triggered. Achieve Xuanzi's achievement of barbecue. I want to eat and get the reward of Coolie Goo. Coolie Goo, a 4th-level goo worm. The more seriously injured a soul master is, the more pain he feels, and the greater the strength he can exert. However, there is also a limit to the strength he can exert, which depends on the soul master's individual foundation. Evaluation: what doesn't kill me will make me stronger. After the barbecue, Huo Yuhao and his 4 companions went back home. As for Xuanzi, after the free meal challenge was over, his figure flashed and disappeared quietly. In Xuanzi's words, it means protecting in secret, and he will not show up unless it is absolutely necessary. Compared to the time when they returned, Huo Yuhao and his team returned a little slower, but they also returned to Shrek City very quickly. At this time, the sun was slowly setting and dusk was approaching. The time was roughly 4 o'clock in the afternoon, which was also the time when Shrek's external school was over. After parting with a few people, Huo Yuhao came to the forbidden book section of the inner courtyard library alone. Wanting to look up some information about the time and space demon eye. After all, I will be fusing this external soul bone later, so let's first see if there is any useful record in the information. Shrek Academy Poseidon Pavilion. Zhuanzi reported to Mu Lao, Yuhao and the others have returned safely. Mu Lao's calm voice sounded, "It's good that you're back." Although he looked calm on the surface, he was secretly relieved in his heart. When Zhuanzi came in, Mu Lao could feel the loneliness in him, as if he had lost something precious at that time. Mr. Mu was completely dumbfounded, thinking that Zhuanzi had caused some disaster again. The last mass annihilation in the starred out Great Forest is still fresh in our memory. Fortunately, no accident happened this time. Zhuanzi is a super Douluo, and his strength in Shrek is second only to himself. The fact that he was asked to go find Huo Yuhao this time just shows how important Huo Yuhao is in Shrek's eyes. As Zhuanzi finished narrating what happened, Moon casually rejected Zhuanzi's intention to accept a disciple. Can he still not understand? Zhuanzi's intention was clearly written on his face, and it was obvious that he was attracted by the other party's cooking skills. This wouldn't do. We couldn't let Zhuanzi ruin Huo Yuhao's future. Moreover, Mr. Mu was even more satisfied with Huo Yuhao's performance. He knew that Huo Yuhao had been studying independently in the library over the past month. He was able to unify his body and mind, and the soul hunter did not rely solely on the help of the academy. His character and strength are undoubtedly at the top level. It is time for the college to increase its investment in it. I hope that with the protection and help of the academy, Huo Yuhao can grow up well and become a towering tree that protects Shrek as soon as possible. Mr. Mu, I have something important to tell you. Zhuanzi was not angry when he was rejected by Mr. Mu. This was also within his expectations. He turned to business. Moon nodded. Go ahead, what else? It's mainly related to Yuhao's former roommate Wang Dong. He and Huo Yuhao have a highly compatible martial soul fusion skill, martial spirit fusion skill, whale, kin. The light goddess butterfly have a fusion technique with the spirit eyes or the ice scorpion. They appear to have nothing to do with each other, real or fake. Facing Mu Lao's questioning eyes, Zhuanzi also scratched his head. I didn't believe it at first, until they showed me their skills. The fusion of the martial souls of the goddess of light butterfly and spirit eyes is really powerful. Facts speak louder than words. When they saw the golden road appear before their eyes, the three of them were dumbfounded at that time. Mazia Ateo, in particular, stared at Wang Dong with a wary look on her face. Why are two boys hugging each other? She was afraid that Huo Yuhao would develop an abnormal sexual orientation. Huo Yuhao was also helpless. It was obvious that the martial soul fusion skill could be activated just by holding hands, so why did Wang Dong hug him? Is this the aftermath of the cliché plot of a hero saving a beauty? Is that so? That's a good thing. Moon's meaningful voice sounded with Zhuanzi's guarantee. He believed it. After all, the world is so big and full of wonders. Maybe the spiritual attribute of the original martial soul is so special. And one more thing, Moon. Let's talk about it together if you have anything to say. These repeated twists and turns were too much for even an extreme Douluo to bear. This is also the last thing. Wang Dong also has twin martial spirits, and of this chapter, Chapter 87, professional soul masters must dare to make judgments. Oh, I see. Seeing Mu Lao's indifferent reaction, Zhuanzi was stunned and emphasized again, Mr. Mu, this is a twin martial soul, and his second martial soul is the Clear Sky Hammer. It is indeed the Clear Sky Hammer. Mr. Mu was not very surprised. After all, when Wang Dong first entered school, the old man from the Haoshan sect even went to find Yan Xiaos and asked him to take care of him. It would be better to temper Wang Dong's arrogant and domineering personality. Yan Xiaos naturally agreed. A mere level 21 great soul master, in the monster swarming Shrek, would surely quickly realize the truth that there are always people better than you. Afterwards, as Mu Lao's disciple, Yan Xiaos naturally reported something at that time. The two knew that Wang Dong's status in the Haoshan sect was definitely not low. Mr. Mu even suspected that the Haoshan sect actually had other purposes. There are two possibilities for them to arrange for Wang Dong to enroll in Shrek. The first possibility is that Wang Dong has not awakened the Clear Sky Hammer, so in order to allow her to grow more smoothly, she was arranged to come to Shrek. Shrek Academy is #1 on the continent in spirit research. There are many soul masters in the academy. Even the goddess of light butterfly has certain records, which can help Wang Dong learn better. The second possibility is that Wang Dong possesses twin martial souls. Just practice the light goddess butterfly first, and then add martial spirit to the clear sky hammer later. In this way, perhaps we can replicate that adult's path to becoming a god. Therefore, the cultivation method of the sea god's twin martial souls is extremely important. Coincidentally, this is also recorded in Shrek. Regardless of which of the above situations is the case, Shrek always welcomes Wang Dong, a disciple of the Haotian sect, although I don't know why she keeps dressing as a man. Yan Xiaos and the other men just went along with his wishes and didn't go out of their way to expose him. As a result, Wang Dong is not only the owner of twin martial spirits, but also lived in the same dormitory with Huo Yuhao. He and Huo Yuhao also have the martial spirit fusion skill. Is it a coincidence? With all these coincidences, even Moon began to have some doubts. Mr. Mu, Zhuan. Z interrupted Mu Lao's thoughts. The gentle voice sounded again. Twin martial spirits, 3 of the new students in this year have already appeared. Perhaps this is the battle of the great world. 3 of you, besides Huo Yuhao and Wang Dong, are there any other people? It was Zhuanzi's turn to be surprised. What? Are twin martial spirits sold in bulk now? In the past, the twin martial spirits that had not been seen for decades suddenly appeared together in threes. Well, there is another interesting little guy. You should know about him after the freshman assessment. Let's not talk about this for now. Moon Puasden continued to ask, does Wang Dong's clear sky hammer spirit and Yuhao's ice scorpion spirit have a spirit fusion skill? This question is very important. The moment he asked the question, Mr. Mu already knew the answer from Zhuanzi's expression. Zhuanzi? Of course not. It's already astonishing that they have a martial soul fusion skill. Zhuan Zi spoke with a solemn oath. A professional soul master must dare to make judgments. Although Huo Yuhao and the other person are both masters of the martial soul fusion technique, they are unprecedented masters of twin martial souls. But how is it possible for 2 martial souls to merge? In this way, there will be at least 2 or even 4 martial soul fusion skills. Will others still want to try it? That's good. Mr. Mu felt relieved indeed. The martial soul fusion technique also needs to be reasonable. The fusion of beast martial spirit and weapon martial spirit has never been seen before, even in the Academy's records, not to mention the ultimate eye. Such a martial soul, unless it encounters an ultimate martial soul of the same level, it is basically impossible for a martial soul fusion technique to appear. The clear sky hammer, if it wants to touch the ultimate martial soul, it is still a little short of it. The gap between them is so small that it seems like a world of difference. Although the clear sky hammer is known as the most powerful martial spirit on the continent, its fame is more due to the sex-inherited spirit skills: Big Sumeru hammer, explosive ring, chaotic cloak hammer technique. These secret skills that are passed down stably are the foundation for a sect to last forever. For example, the Shrek Inner Court also has a heritage of special secret skills. This is the essence of martial soul. Thinking of this, Moon thought of the Tang sect. Although there was the impact of soul guides, the reason for the decline of the Tang sect was also inseparable from the factor of martial spirit. They pay too much attention to external objects such as hidden weapons, neglected the research of martial spirits, and even insisted on the supremacy of blue silvergrass. After so many years, the upper limit of blue silvergrass has been improved, but there has never been a blue silver emperor martial spirit that can shoulder the heavy responsibility. The appearance of soul guides made things even worse. Thinking of this, Moon also sighed softly. Soul guides are different from hidden weapons. That is something that can truly change the world. The Academy may not pay enough attention to soul guides as the deadline approached. Moon couldn't help but feel sad. He doesn't have much time left to protect Shrek. I don't know if this ship full of the old times can continue to sail smoothly. This is why his other identity is the doorman of the freshman dormitory building. He really liked watching the students from the external academy and feeling the vitality of these children. Only in this way could the loneliness in his heart be diluted. Open the Forbidden Book section ranking of the top 10 ferocious beasts. Huo Yuhao discovered that even Moon and Zhuanzi participated in the writing of this book. Among the 3 kings of the far north, the Snow Emperor, who has nearly 700,000 years of cultivation, ranks 3rd, while the Ice Emperor, who has nearly 400,000 years of cultivation, can only rank 7th. Cheyenne Meng and Titan Snow Demon King were not even on the list in his mind. Bingdi explained, the ranking of the 10 great beasts is not based on strength, but on cultivation. Although due to the 100,000-year heavenly tribulation, the higher the age of the soul beast, the stronger it is generally, but there are exceptions. Moreover, some soul beasts with high age are completely unknown to humans. Having said that, Bingdi glanced at Cheyenne Meng, who had escaped several disasters by sleeping, hid his sight and did not dare to interrupt. In fact, The 10 most ferocious beasts do not include powerful beings like Xian Meng, who often practice through sleep and have never been discovered by humans. This does not include sea soul beasts. After the sea god ascended, human soul masters had limited development of the ocean, so sea soul beasts were harassed much less than soul beasts on land. In Douluo continent, the ocean covers a very large area. People estimate that the overall strength of sea soul beasts should be higher than that of land soul beasts, and the soul beast population is also much larger than that on land. Ranked first, Dian, whose true form is the golden-eyed black dragon king, the leader of the 10 fierce beasts on the continent, the ruler of the Xingdao Great Forest, and the king of soul beasts on the continent. Looking at Dian's various titles, Bingdi shook her head, and her emerald green ponytail trembled. Emperor Tian? I have never heard Snow Queen mention this person. The king of soul beasts on the continent? I don't recognize him. I really don't think he can be stronger than Snow Queen. A professional soul beast must dare to make judgments. Obviously, Bingdi was upset that Zudi was only ranked third. Dian Meng also expressed his dissatisfaction. This is also because humans don't know of my existence. If I could make the list, I would definitely be number 1. She is confident in her years of cultivation. Huo Yuhao complained. Tian Meng, if you're on the list, then these 10 fierce beasts will really have no gold content. I scrolled all the way to the 10th rank soul beast, just reviewed. I don't know why. End of this chapter. Chapter 88. Ranking of fierce beasts and combat mechanics. After reading the ranking of the continent's fierce beasts, Tian Meng looked at Bingdi desperately. The ranking of the 10 fierce beasts is indeed based on their cultivation, but Emperor Yan's combat power should also be recognized as the strongest. Is Snow Emperor really his opponent? The difference in their cultivation is nearly 200,000 years. 200,000 years. For a moment, Bingdi was a little hesitant. Who could have thought that Yan's cultivation had reached the terrifying level of 800,000 years, coupled with its racial advantage, with such combat power? Even the ultimate Douluo would find it difficult to compete with it. If it were in the far north, the Snow Emperor would not be inferior to him. The Ice Emperor was still stubborn. He turned around and asked Huo Yuhao, Yuhao, what do you think? What do I think? It's 50-50. After all, I haven't seen the true strength of the continent's top fighters. What I learned from books is always shallow. After thinking about it, Huo Yuhao gave this answer. In fact, combined with the original work, in his personal opinion, during the period of peerless Tang sect, there could be many T1 combat forces in Douluo continent. Emperor Yan, Evil Emperor, Light of Time and Space, Snow Emperor, located in the far north, Sea Princess, Ocean Home Field Advantage, Teoti, Moon plus Zhuangzi plus Golden Tree, New Dawn, Level 99 Extreme. Douluo 6 black and 3 red, but T1, which is above T0, is another realm. Basically, there is only one, and that is the serious Emperor Yan, who uses the power of space to launch sneak attacks plus uses the Dragon God Claw. There is no doubt that he is the strongest in the entire continent. Of course, this is after excluding the Silver Dragon King. The self-entertainment ended, and I ignored the daily bickering in the spiritual sea. Huo Yuhao looked at the book in his hand again. Second, the evil eye tyrant overlord, the strongest soul beast of the Sun Moon Empire, was worshipped as the totem of the Sun Moon Empire, and had challenged Emperor Yan and escaped unscathed. Third, the Ice and Snow Girl, the ruler of the far north, the leader of the 3 kings of the far north, whose sword and palm make the sky ice and snow cold, the Emperor Sword, the Emperor Palm, the Emperor Frost Heaven. Fourth, Emerald Swan, the strongest healing soul beast. Fifth, the Demon Eye Demon Tree, the strongest plant-type soul beast. Sixth, Dark Gold Orclaw Bear, with a cultivation base of over 400,000 years. 7th, Ice Jade Scorpion King, Ice Jade Scorpion Clan Leader. 8th, the 3-headed Red Devil Mastiff, has some true dragon blood. 9th, the Hell Demon Dragon King, with a cultivation base of more than 200,000 years. Huo Yuhao looked at the specific information of the 10th ranked ferocious beast. 10th, the Space-Time Demon Eye, suspected to be a variant of the Evil Eye Tyrant, is speculated to be located in a different space somewhere in the Stardao Great Forest. Its main attribute is spiritual, and its secondary attribute is space-time. It mainly attacks with spiritual power, and its combat power is not high, but its use of spatial power is extremely strong, unpredictable, and it is speculated that its cultivation is close to 200,000 years. The Eye of Time and Space. Huo Yuhao looked at the dark blue diamond-shaped crystal in his hand. It's exactly the same name as the one he made up through the demon spirit. Moreover, According to Huo Yuhao's perception and identification, the ability of this external soul bone happens to take into account the three aspects of spirit, time and space, and it is an auxiliary gain type skill, a spiritual I martial soul that is very suitable for me, but maybe now is not the best time to absorb it. After all, this diamond-shaped crystal has a vertical pupil shape. Maybe waiting until Huo Yuhao's Eye of Life is open will be the best time to fuse the time and space demon eye soul bone. However, ever since his spiritual eyes completed their upgrade and transformation, something has been brewing in Huo Yuhao's spiritual sea, and this spiritual guidance has been constantly sending signals of desire. Therefore, Huo Yuhao planned to fuse this external soul bone now. Even Xian Meng gave the same consistent advice. Yuhao, in my opinion, now is the best time to fuse the external soul bone. Don't worry about doing it. With my help and cover, you don't need to worry about the outside world's prying eyes. In Tian Meng's opinion, the sooner she integrates this kind of soul bone that can enhance her spiritual power, the faster her spiritual essence can be absorbed. It would be great if there was a method to cultivate spiritual power. In Xian Meng's opinion, the Tang sect's purple demon pupil might be very suitable for Huo Yuhao. What a pity. Fortunately, Huo Yuhao's spiritual I martial soul is very powerful. Because it has evolved, his mental strength increases very quickly as his cultivation level continued to improve. Tian Meng also continued to unlock the origin of his spirit. Now, as long as he absorbed this external soul bone, he could not only take the opportunity to make a breakthrough, but also further accelerate the subsequent improvement of his mental power. Kill two birds with one stone. Perfect. Well, let's find a quiet place first. After taking back the top 10 fierce beasts ranking, Huo Yuhao returned to the dormitory on Seagoat Island. Enter the training room, hang up the do not disturb sign, take out the time and space demon eyes attached soul bone, and start the fusion. Sitting cross-legged and concentrating his mind, Huo Yuhao summoned his spirit eyes martial soul. He then stretched out his right hand and placed the soul bone on the center of his eyebrows, using his soul power to pull the soul bone up. As the blue light of the soul bone bloomed, a purple gold light flashed between the eyebrows, and the moment the two came into contact, they merged together. It was as if there was a deep blue flame flickering between Huo Yuhao's brows. As time passed, the color of the flame became deeper and deeper. This is different from the process of fusing dark gold terror claws. At this moment, Huo Yuhao did not experience any pain. Instead, he felt extremely comfortable. An unprecedented feeling of comfort spread throughout his body. The first thing Huo Yuhao felt was a warm breath. A trace of strange breath was continuously released from his sea of consciousness, rushing out from the ancestral orifice between his eyebrows and injected into the flame. He just felt his mind go blank, and then he was immersed in a mysterious feeling. Everything around him seemed to be still, both in time and space. As the flames gradually disappeared, a complex blue-gold pattern formed between Huo Yuhao's eyebrows, which contrasted with a purple-gold pattern around his pupils. In the sea of spirit, a blue-gold vertical pupil opened under its illumination. The entire spiritual sea seems to be moving from nothingness to reality. Tian Meng was also blessed and quickly unlocked the seal on the origin of his spirit, helping Huo Yuhao to expand his spiritual sea in Huo Yuhao's sea of consciousness. The remaining 9 brilliant golden light balls floated in the sky and began to rotate slowly. The 9th ball of light slowly cracked open a gap, and the golden spiritual origin flowed out from it, fell into the spiritual sea below, and began to merge with a fusion of Xian Meng's spiritual origin. The spiritual sea, which was originally the size of a lake, continued to expand until its limit. It's worthy of being a spiritual type external soul bone. The effect is great. Xian Meng couldn't help but sigh. Originally, she planned to wait until Yuhao's soul power level increased and then find an opportunity to fuse a high-quality skull. In this way, not only can the spiritual power be greatly enhanced, but the stability and capacity of the spiritual sea can also be strengthened. What a pity! He only reached the level of soul Douluo and failed to reach the realm of tangible and intangible in one fell swoop. Bindi, on the side, shook his head and said unhappily, Tian Meng, you should be content. It is not easy to reach the realm of formless form. I am afraid we have to wait until Yuhao's soul power level is further improved and a high-quality skull is fused. You know, the level of tangible and intangible spiritual power is already the upper limit for many non-spiritual titled Douluo. Tian Meng changed the subject. Hey, Yuhao should be waking up soon. Let's ask him what he learned later. Bindi nodded. Although the external soul bone of the space-time demon eye is a little younger, it is indeed very suitable for Yuhao. End of this chapter. If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. we cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelist. There you'll find the original version of this story, and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We're waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 89: The Second Awakening of the Soul. Huo Yuhao could clearly feel that his mental strength had improved. It's a pity that it is still an accumulation of quantity. It should be that it failed to reach the level of qualitative change. Huo Yuhao asked Tianmeng in his heart. Tianmeng, what level of spiritual power have I reached now? It is considered the realm of an ordinary non-spiritual soul Douluo, and is still some distance away from being tangible and intangible. Don't worry, with your talent, plus my help, you will definitely be able to cross this important threshold within 3 years. Tian Meng answered Huo Yuhao's questions, gave him some encouragement, and then began to paint a picture. Once your spiritual power reaches the realm of being tangible and intangible, you can use it to suppress the soul power of the ultimate ice, wrap it up and practice with it, so that it will no longer be able to affect your practice speed. Huo Yuhao said confidently. 3 years? It definitely won't take that long. 3 years has gone by very quickly. This invisible threshold has blocked more than 90% of the humans and soul beasts on the continent. My original plan for you is to reach this realm within 10 years, but I didn't expect that you, Yuhao, would surprise me again and again. Tian Meng's voice became noticeably more excited. Also, with a complete fusion of the space-time demon eye soul bone, I feel that your spirit eye martial soul has also undergone a sublimation, and even your soul power has been increased by 1 level. Could this be the second awakening of your martial soul? It's possible, but not entirely. After hearing Tianmeng's words, Huo Yuhao looked thoughtful. With the successful development of the vertical pupils in his sea of spirituality, Huo Yuhao could feel that the effect of the one-time soul-soothing goo he had used before had completely disappeared. The evolution of the spirit eye martial soul has been completely perfected, but this kind of evolution should not be the second awakening of the original martial soul. Combining the knowledge from the original book and the inner courtyard library, Huo Yuhao knew the reason why the original martial soul can be included in the top martial souls is because of the huge advantage of being able to awaken a second time, which can greatly improve the talent of the soul master. This is also the core secret of the body sect. Even if it is the second awakening of the original martial soul, there are still differences in levels in the body sect. The levels are divided into 4 levels, namely black iron, bronze, silver and gold. After the main body martial soul completes the second awakening, the soul master can display the abilities brought by the second awakening, and light and shadow condensed by his own martial soul will appear behind him. The color of this light and shadow is divided into the above 4 levels. The higher the level, the greater the improvement of martial spirit. The second awakening of the black iron level can only increase combat effectiveness by about 30%. The second awakening of the bronze level improves by 60%, which is also the level of most body martial souls. The second awakening of the silver level increases by about double. The silver level is already extremely rare in the body sect, and it only appears in important parts of the body, such as the torso, brain, etc. This is why, in the main body of the martial soul, the more important this part of the body is to the human body, the higher its quality is for the highest level, gold level secondary awakening. The combat power is increased by 1 to 3 times, and the awakening cannot be completed innately. The strongest innate second awakening is only at the silver level. Only when the soul master who has awakened to the silver level breaks through the title Douluo realm can he have a certain chance to evolve into gold level awakening. At the same time, the second awakening of the original martial soul can also help the soul master to greatly enhance the physical fitness. The higher the level of the second awakening, the greater the improvement to the soul master's physical fitness. The greater the improvement in physical fitness, the longer it takes to absorb soul rings. This is also the terrifying part of the original martial spirit. Just like Long A Ocean, who appeared in the original work, with martial soul skin and silver level second awakening, he is the first person in the younger generation of the body sect and the chief successor to the sect master as a 7-ring soul saint. His martial soul ratio is 1 yellow, 2 purple and 4 black, which is an extremely unconventional soul ring ratio. Even some possessors of innate second awakening martial spirits can theoretically achieve the first ring of 1,000 years. Far ahead of ordinary soul masters, however, the difficulty of the second awakening of the main body martial soul is directly linked to the quality of the main body martial soul. Unfortunately, Huo Yuhao's 2 martial souls are now both the main body martial souls, and their quality is extremely high. It is naturally very difficult to complete the second awakening, so he knows now I do not have the abilities brought by the second awakening of my martial soul, whether it is the moment of the spiritual eyes, or the innate domain and mimicry of the ice soul body. They are all talents possessed by the martial soul itself. Huo Yuhao also couldn't let light and shadow condense behind him. It should have nothing to do with the second awakening, but there is a possibility that is, with the help of the achievement system, Huo Yuhao's two martial souls have already completed the second awakening. However, due to his own strength and the high quality of his second awakening, he is in a semi-awakening state and cannot fully display his power. One needs to wait until he becomes a titled Douluo or reaches a certain realm before the transformation is complete. In short, the ontology sect must be touched upon later. Yuhao, you haven't told me about the ability of the external spirit bone yet, since even Huo Yuhao had difficulty in making an accurate judgment on the second awakening. Tianmeng no longer worried about it. She was now very curious about the external soul bone. The space-time demon eye gives me a passive bonus. It can increase the speed of my spiritual power cultivation, as well as my affinity with space and time, and it also strengthens the ability of my spiritual eyes. This bonus will continue to increase with the improvement of the external soul bone. Huo Yuhao was quite satisfied with the results. Therefore, with the existence of the time and space demon eye, the innate talent of moment was finally made up for its last shortcoming while using the moment to accelerate. Huo Yuhao's thinking was also accelerated, without having to rely on mental power and mental detection to forcibly make up for the deficiency. As of now, Huo Yuhao can use instant, triple speed without any burden, but to go any further he will need to increase his soul power. In the next 2 months, the years were peaceful. Huo Yuhao just stayed in Shrek Academy to practice and occasionally improve his favorability as for achieving tasks. Huo Yuhao only successfully completed one because of the frequent chance encounters in the inner courtyard library. Hanruoro's second achievement mission was completed smoothly. Achievement triggered. Achieve Hanruoro's achievement of books are the ladder of Soul Master's progress and receive the reward of Heart Sound Goo, Heart Sound Goo, a second-level goo worm. 2 of these goo are available as a set. They can allow 2 people to communicate using their hearts and voices within 100 steps. Evaluation. You know my heart. It's not the wisdom insect. Huo Yuhao was used to it. After all, the number of intelligent poisonous insects that appeared in Poison Master novels was actually quite high. Moreover, the general wisdom is actually more like an exhaustive method for him now. It doesn't mean much. Huo Yuhao comforted himself in this way. Just before the freshman assessment was about to begin, Mazaya Ateo secretly told Huo Yuhao a piece of news. Yuhao, the teacher seems to want you to form a team alone. End of this chapter. Chapter 90, a few things about the freshman assessment. After successfully reaching level 34, with the help of the time and space demon eye's external soul bone, Huo Yuhao could clearly feel that his cultivation speed was significantly slower than before. If he cultivated normally, it would take at least 3 years to reach the next bottleneck of level 40. Although the strength of a martial soul with extreme attributes far exceeds that of an ordinary martial soul, it also requires a price to be paid. In order to consolidate the body's acceptance of the extreme attributes, the speed of cultivation will be slower. Soul masters with ultimate attributes cultivate extremely condensed soul power, so the speed of cultivation between level 30 and level 70 is extremely slow. It is also because of that ultimate existence that soul masters will not encounter any bottlenecks during the practice process. If there is no special opportunity, it is normal for a soul master with ultimate attributes to take as much as half a year to break through from level 34 to level 35. Fortunately, Huo Yuhao has the help of Yuanqi, so he can practice uninterruptedly around the clock. In addition to his extremely high talent, his cultivation speed is very fast. Even if he is limited by the extreme, Huo Yuhao's cultivation speed is much faster than that of ordinary soul masters. 2 months later, with the help of 2 external soul bones, Huo Yuhao broke through to level 35. Of course, if he wants to quickly improve his soul power, he has another way, that is to absorb high-quality soul bones and add soul rings to the second martial soul. However, this is putting the cart before the horse and throwing the baby out with the bathwater. The first 3 months of study for freshmen have passed. During this period, the academy courses mainly focused on physical fitness and soul power training, supplemented by practical teaching. In the entire freshman class 9, no one was expelled. and the class has always maintained a population of 100, and Huo Yuhao was out of place among them. Almost all the freshmen knew that there was a guy with outstanding appearance in Class 9 of this year's freshman year who was eccentric and often took leave and skipped classes. There were even some people who couldn't stand Huo Yuhao's behavior and went to complain to the teaching department, but it was of no use. Huo Yuhao, who in this hall is suing me, the dean of the Wuhan department and the director of studies of the external academy are both his people. As long as he doesn't commit suicide, he can do whatever he wants in the outer courtyard. Over time, everyone got used to it. It is worth mentioning that, thanks to Zhou Yi, in just 3 months, the number of students in the freshman class has been reduced to only more than 50 people. Any freshman who dares to talk back to Zhou Yi or disobey her will be expelled. Nearly half of the people were ruthlessly fired for unfounded reasons. Later on, even the Academic Affairs Office came forward under pressure and severely reprimanded Zhou Yi, which made her calm down a little. Otherwise, there will be even fewer students left in the freshman class. The top floor of the teacher's office building, this room, is much larger than Wang Yan's office. It also does not have too many fancy decorations. There are 4 bookcases, each of which contains a rich collection of books. A tall, stern-looking middle-aged man in his 40s was sitting on a chair in the office, with his name and position engraved on the badge on his chest. Du Weilan, the teaching director of the outer college, is the director of the martial soul department of Shrek's outer courtyard. Du Weilan has great power. As an 8-ringed soul Douluo, his strength is also impressive. Du Weilan never expected that even though Zhou Yi was demoted to teach new students for arbitrarily expelling students, it did not change her stubborn ideas, but instead made them worse. Hey, I don't know what's wrong with Huo Yuhao. He comes to me to complain every now and then. He's obviously not a member of the freshman class. Thinking of this, Du Weilan couldn't help but have a headache. Although he was not satisfied with Zhou Yi's behavior, he could not touch her at will because Zhou Yi's husband is Fan Yu from the Soul Guidance Department. Although Fan Yu, like him, is also at the level of Soul Douluo, the other party has another identity, 8th level Soul Mentor. As one of the few 8th level Soul Masters in Shrek, he was the youngest and the one most likely to break through to the 9th level Soul Master. With such talent, he was almost destined to be the successor to the Dean of the Soul Master Department. Everyone would give him a face, and Du Weilan would not offend him openly. With Fan Yu around, no one can do anything to Zhou Yi unless the Dean personally expels her. However, Zhou Yi cannot be the head teacher of the class after the division. Du Weilan directly crossed out Zhou Yi's name. Humph, you want to leave after offending the abbot. It's not possible to fire him openly, but he is doing it secretly. Moreover, with Huo Yuhao's support, Du Weilan has already reported to Dean Yan Xiaos if Zhou Yi continues to act recklessly like this, he will be retaliated against sooner or later. According to Shrek's tradition, freshmen will be divided into classes after assessment. 4 classes in 1 grade, simple and crude. The Soul Masters of the Strong Attack and Control departments are divided into Class 1, the Defense and Agility departments are divided into Class 2. The Auxiliary Combat Soul Masters are divided into Class 3, and the Food, Healing, and various Special Attribute Soul Masters are divided into Class 4. This time, the homeroom teachers of Class 1 will be given to Wang Yan and Mu Jin. Wang Yan specially applied to teach in the 1st grade from a senior grade. I think he must have received some news. I can rest assured now. Du Weilan knew how much the Academy's top management valued Huo Yuhao. If that crazy bitch Zhou Yi accidentally contradicted Huo Yuhao, things would get really bad. He also wants to work as the director of the Foreign Affairs College for a few more years. Classroom of Class 9, freshman students. The bell for class had already rung, but the students in the classroom were still excited. With a mixture of excitement and worry on their faces, the new students will be grouped for assessment soon, and whether they stay or go will all depend on the results of the assessment. Everyone secretly looked at Huo Yuhao, who was resting with his eyes closed, and prayed, if I could get on the squad leader's good side, wouldn't that be safe? Although in the subsequent practical teaching, the squad leader rarely took action and often asked for leave, but everyone in Class 9 knows that Huo Yuhao is the biggest and most powerful person in Class 9. Even Wu Feng, with Ningdian's assistance, could not defeat Huo Yuhao. After the freshman assessment is over, we will teach students according to their aptitude. Write down the direction of your future cultivation and give it to me later. Now let me talk about the freshman assessment. After distributing the future cultivation tendency forms in her hand, Mu Jin explained the rules of the freshman assessment. The freshman assessment is a 3-person team battle, and each team is required to have at most 1 strong attack type combat soul master. The assessment will begin tomorrow. There are more than 300 groups of freshmen, and only the top 150 groups in the competition points ranking will be able to stay. Every student listened attentively, afraid of missing any information for them. Once they are eliminated, they can only go back to choose a lower-level academy, and they may never be able to get close to the top powerhouses on the continent again. We have been working hard for 3 months and no one wants to be eliminated at this time. Now, let's divide the groups. There are exactly 100 people in our class. Originally, I could recommend a special recruit to directly pass the assessment and go to the sole guidance department. The remaining 99 people can be divided into 33 groups. However, due to special reasons, the academy requires one of you to form a group on your own, so now there are 34 groups. Hearing this, the whole class was in an uproar. They couldn't help but look at Huo Yuhao. If there is a person who can form a group alone, that must be the squad leader, Huo Yuhao. Huo Yuhao was unusually calm. It's just 1 against 3, no big deal. End of this chapter. Chapter 91. Are you a strong attack type? The first group, Huo Yuhao, will form a group on his own. Speaking of this, Mu Jin couldn't help feeling a little uncomfortable. Originally, relying on the combination of Huo Yuhao and Soul Master Ningguang, they could definitely win the championship in the freshman assessment, especially after Huo Yuhao broke through to the Soul Master level. He became invincible even with the second ring. He could punch Su Sanchi and kick Wu Feng. Now it's the third ring. Isn't that just a massacre? As a result, now, due to the requirements of superiors, there are more variables. 1 against 3. Even though Mu Jin is very optimistic about Huo Yuhao, there is no guarantee that he will achieve the final victory. The second group, Ningguang, Wu Feng, and Namen Yuner. The third group, after Mu Jin's grouping was announced, every student felt relieved. These are the groups I have classified according to the characteristics of your respective martial spirits. I have carefully considered them. Today's classes are cancelled. If anyone is dissatisfied, you can discuss it on your own after you go back and then raise your objections to me, but only within today. With Huo Yuhao leading the group alone, no one would raise any objections in public. Moreover, Mu Jin was very thoughtful. Most of the students in the same dormitory were grouped into one team, and basically no one was dissatisfied with the grouping. They wanted to team up with Huo Yuhao, but there was no way. The academy has already issued a strict order for him to form a separate team, so he can't curry favor with anyone even if he wants to. There is also the group of Ningguang, Wu Feng, and Namen Yuner. Anyone with a discerning eye can see that this is the seed team selected by Mu Jin. Given the other people's abilities and connections, even if they squeeze in, they will still be outsiders. Hibiscus voice continued, if you want to pass the assessment, I suggest that you take this opportunity to learn about each other's martial spirits and spirit skills, and hurry up to practice cooperation. After submitting your future training preference form, you can leave. The first and second groups will stay for a while. Not long after, the students of Class 9 handed in the blank papers with their future cultivation preferences written on them, and then walked out of the classroom with their teammates. After being divided into groups, Huo Yuhao and his classmates were the only ones left in the huge classroom. At this time, other classes were still enthusiastically discussing the grouping of the freshman assessment. Mu Jin said gently, originally, I wanted you, Yuhao, to be in the same team with Ningguang, but Director Du found me today and asked me to put you, Yuhao, in a separate team. I thought this would be the most appropriate way to group them. As soon as these words came out, Wu Feng was the first to agree. Teacher Mu, I have no objection. Fortunately, Huo Yuhao did not team up with Ningguang. Otherwise, according to the principle that a team can only have one strong attack type, she would probably be kicked out of the team. Namen Yuna also nodded. She, Ningguang and Wu Feng usually have a good relationship. They are familiar with each other, and they are a classic combination of strong attack, agile attack and assistance, which is very reasonable. Ningtian glanced at Huo Yuhao quietly, but in the end did not raise any objection. After all, Huo Yuhao had been forced to join a team by the academy. This is also good. Although she has encountered many setbacks with Huo Yuhao, as the successor to the next leader of the 9 Treasures Glazed Tile sect, she also has her own pride. As long as he could lead the team to achieve results, Huo Yuhao would also be able to see the auxiliary effect of the 7 Treasures Glazed Tower and truly realize his own importance. Since it's the college's arrangement, I don't mind. Huo Yuhao smiled. It's not that he looks down on these pairs. It's no problem for him to beat them one by one with one punch. Moreover, with this division, the achievement tasks of the 2 opponents can probably be completed during these 3 months. Although Ningtian's evil intentions were repeatedly thwarted by himself, but the relationship between them was not that serious. It can already be considered a friendship even for Wu Feng. Under the suppression of Huo Yuhao's strength, being just a superficial friend is completely irrelevant. Since you all have no objection, then it is decided. Mu Jin looked at everyone with a smile and continued, I hope that the champion of the freshman assessment will be one of you. I can tell you that our Shrek Academy has been wealthy and powerful for more than once or twice. Although your background is not bad, the reward for the freshman assessment champion is also not to be ignored by you. Go back and adjust your condition. I believe in your strength. Huo Yuhao stays. As Ningtian and the other two left the classroom, Mu Jin looked at her most satisfied students and asked, Yuhao, you should know why I want to leave you alone again. Is it because I chose the attack department? Hearing what Huo Yuhao said, Mu Jin's eyes twitched a little. Spirit Eyes is a spiritual spirit, so it would be more appropriate for it to go the control system, right? Huo Yuhao explained, indeed, but I prefer the strong attack system. Mu Jin was stunned for a moment, then tried to persuade her, Yuhao, I know you are the owner of twin martial souls, but the first martial soul you cultivated was the Spirit Eye, and the 3 soul skills you have now should not be offensive type soul skills, right? You can rely on your physical fitness to be far ahead of others now, but the further you go, the greater the impact of your soul skills will be. If you develop into a control system, with the quality of your soul eyes, you can definitely become the core of a team. Huo Yuhao nodded. What Mu Jin said did make some sense, but he refused. The core that Mr. Mu mentioned should be responsible for commanding and formulating tactics, similar to the brain of the team, right? Hibiscus nodded. Huo Yuhao continued, I prefer being the power core to being the tactical core. The direct source of power is strength, and the offensive system holds the strongest strength, so I choose the offensive system. All tactics turn into strong offense. As for offensive soul skills, Huo Yuhao said that he was not sure of it whether it is the poisonous insect or the soul skills brought by the second martial soul. Moreover, even though Ling Mao currently only has one offensive soul skill, the soul shock, it is a unique skill that can be used to defeat everyone. One soul shock was enough for him to perform various tricks. After thinking for a moment, Mu Jin said, okay, it's a strong attack system, just keep it in mind. Okay, you should go and have a rest too. After asking Wang Yan for advice, she also had some plans for Huo Yuhao's development direction, but because Huo Yuhao had rarely exposed his spiritualized spirit skills, he mostly relied on his second martial soul in the few battles. Therefore, this time when she kept Huo Yuhao after class, she was only giving him some advice. The final decision was still up to him. At the same time, there is a new class. Wang Dong looked at his teammates and felt a little worried. Help me. Hey. Is this the configuration of the top 3 in soul power in the freshman class? This is the seeded team. Then how can she beat Huo Yuhao? And let alone fighting Huo Yuhao? If you are unlucky, even meeting him would be a bit difficult. After the last trip to the starred-out Great Forest, Wang Dong had a rough understanding of Huo Yuhao's strength, being able to deal with the 2,000-year-old dark gold War Claw bear by himself. Huo Yuhao's strength must have reached the Soul King level. I remembered the bold words I had said before that I would defeat Huo Yuhao. She was a little embarrassed. Cut. Those were words spoken by Wang Dong in the past, and have nothing to do with her now. Now all you have to do is pass the freshman assessment. As soon as the thought of giving up arises, you will suddenly feel the world is wide. Recommend a book. Read by Q Douluo, Time-Stopping Dragon. They all want to tame me. End of this chapter. Chapter 92. This game with a girl. Words. Wang Dong, Zio, Bai Yan, the 3 of you stay for a while. Zhou Yi questions Zio's choice of the control system as a future cultivation tendency. Zio, I remember your spirit is an auxiliary weapon spirit, the soul-suppressing cauldron, which can be considered a top-level weapon spirit. Why did you lose control and lose hope? Zio explained in a soft voice, Teacher Zhou, my soul-suppressing cauldron is a mutated martial soul called the 3-lived soul-suppressing cauldron, which is both offensive and defensive. Zhou Yi frowned and shook his head. That has nothing to do with control. Zio, I suggest you develop in one direction. Even if it is a mutant martial spirit, you still need to have a tendency when adding spirit rings. Zio whispered, but I have another martial soul that can assist and control. What? While Zhou Yi was shocked, Wang Dong and Bai Yan were equally stunned. Twin martial souls. Wang Dong, in particular, originally thought that Yuhao and he were unique among the freshmen in this year in that they possessed twin martial spirits. I didn't expect that there was someone hidden in the class, and he's a master. When did twin martial spirits become so worthless? Xiao lowered his head shyly because the freshman class had an unexpected situation for the first time. Zhouyi's eyes changed, and finally encouraged, okay, the control department is the control department. Although the freshman assessment is only your first assessment in Shrek Academy, it is very important for your future cultivation path. In our class, I am most optimistic about the three of you. Not only are you ranked in the top 3 in terms of soul power, but you have also completed the tasks I assigned very well. I am very pleased. I will give you a task. In the freshman assessment, you have only one goal, which is to become the champion. Champion? Thinking of the team's configuration, Wang Dong couldn't help but sigh inwardly. This is a game with a girl. Fortunately, my current goal is just to pass the freshman assessment and get the status of a core disciple in the outer courtyard. Not much pressure, guaranteed. After 3 months of hard training and with the help of billions of insignificant training resources, Wang Dong's soul power level has now reached level 24. The fact that he had just reached the second ring of 1,000 years was enough to allow him to fight against those powerful soul lords. If he reveals the clear sky hammer spirit again, he can make it to the finals. But what can be done? If they want to seize the championship position, there is only a slight chance unless the three of them attack Huo Yuhao alone. To do otherwise is sheer wishful thinking. Wang Dong found out the information about Ningdan, the deputy monitor of Class 9, a freshman class. Not only does she have the strength of a soul master, but her martial soul is also the best auxiliary weapon martial soul in the continent, the 7 Treasures Glazed Tower. This combined with Yuhao can only be described in one word: indiscriminate killing. As for Zhouyi's expectations, just forget it. This old lady really thinks highly of them. I don't know where her confidence comes from. It's too silly. The seed team of the freshman class is Wang Dong, Xiao, and Bai Yan. Xiao is not tall and looks very petite, pretty and delicate, very attractive, with a bit of shyness on her face. Bai Yan is tall and well proportioned, with short black hair and beautiful eyes, as if she is very interested in everything around her at this moment. The three of them found a relatively flat open space in the woods. Although they had been classmates for 3 months and studied together, they practiced separately. They were not very familiar with each other and were not very clear about each other's martial spirits. The atmosphere was slightly awkward. Wang Dong spoke first, breaking the silence. Let's all talk about our abilities first. I'm a strong attack spirit master. I can attack at both long and short ranges, and I can fly. Bai Yan smiled and said, my martial soul is the spine-tailed swift, which is agile and attacking. It is good at speed and can also fly. Xiao nodded and said, my main martial soul is the 3-lived soul suppressing cauldron, which is both offensive and defensive, and has a certain control effect, mainly by hitting the enemy and causing dizziness and attack. My second martial soul is the 9 Phoenixes flute, which is mainly used for auxiliary control, but currently my second martial soul only has a 100-year spirit ring, which can slow down the opponent in battle. Wang Dong asked in surprise, isn't your auxiliary martial spirit like the 7 Treasures Glazed Pagoda that can amplify your own people? Xiao smiled proudly, no, sometimes, weakening the opponent is far more effective than strengthening yourself. However, my second martial spirit will not be used easily. We can hide some of our strength and take it slowly. Then, Bai Yan asked, how do we practice now? Should we each use our spirit skills once? Xiao immediately responded, that's boring. The drill is only effective if there is confrontation. Bai Yan and I will form a team to confront the squad leader. You two will fight me? That's fine. Wang Dong agreed. As the monitor of Class 1, she is far ahead of the other freshmen in the class. Whether it is her soul power cultivation, martial soul or soul skills, she is also the best among her peers. However, after a few rounds of fighting, Xiao's Sansheng Soul Calming Cauldron was completely unable to keep up with the mobility of Wang Dong's light goddess butterfly. Although Bai Yan was restraining him, she was not lethal enough and her physical fitness was far inferior to Wang Dong, so she could only play a certain harassing role, as expected of the squad leader. You are really powerful, Xiao couldn't help but sigh. They didn't even have time to use Wang Dong's second soul skill and they were defeated. Maybe we can really win the championship. Bai Yan was also shocked by Wang Dong's strength. Champion? We are still far away. Let's continue practicing our cooperation. Having Seen towering figures, Wang Dong has gradually understood the meaning of humility. I've heard from others that your performance in the freshman assessment determines whether you can be selected as a core disciple, so you must do your best during the assessment. During the competition, I'll back you up, so just do your best. Thank you, monitor. Morning flies by. The words are divided into two parts because Huo Yuhao formed an independent group. There was no process of getting to know his teammates. He went straight back to the dormitory and continued practicing. It makes no difference to him whether he's alone or with two burdens. The championship of the freshman assessment must be won the next afternoon. The assessment area of Shrek Academy is located in the north-central part of the Wuhan department, adjacent to the Daohan area. Compared with it, the assessment area is much larger. This is the best place for outstanding students to show themselves, but it is also a nightmare for students with lower cultivation. Every year, a large number of students are eliminated because they cannot pass the assessment. The assessment area is oval in shape. It is not like an enclosed stadium like the Fighting Spirit area, but an open space with a circle of low walls on the outside and the inside divided into areas by partitions. These partitions can be split at any time to change the size of the area. The entire assessment area is about 20,000 square meters and has been divided into 50 areas. Each area is about 400 square meters. For freshmen who are generally only at the first or second ring level, it is completely sufficient. Today is the first day of the assessment. In order to allow the freshmen to adapt first, each group only needs to complete one test before leaving. The college has sent 50 teachers to conduct assessment registration in 50 areas except for the class of freshmen, which had only 19 groups of students due to Zhou Yi's arbitrary expulsion of students. The other classes generally had more than 30 groups unless there are students who have committed serious disciplinary violations during the freshman period. Teachers in the freshman class generally will not easily eliminate students before the freshman assessment and will always give them a chance to take the assessment in the end. There were more than 300 groups of students participating in the freshman assessment, totaling more than 900 people. In the end, only 150 groups were able to stay and officially become first-year students, thus continuing to study at Shrek. The competition in Shrek Academy is undoubtedly fierce and cruel, but it is also because of this that it can stimulate their potential and thus form Shrek Academy's everlasting victory. Among the 50 areas, each area is assigned to 6 to 7 teams of students to participate. After all the teams in each area have met, they will be regrouped and finally complete 10 games for each team. Huo Yuhao was assigned to Area 11, and students from other classes who were also participating in the competition had already arrived, whether they were those who were nervous or those who were ready to fight. The hostility was very clearly revealed when they looked at each other. When it comes to elimination, every game is very important, and their future depends on it. When Huo Yuhao arrived alone, all the teams in District 11 recognized his identity. He was the freshman who defeated Su Sanchi, one of the twin stars of the outer courtyard, in the Fighting Spirit District 3 months ago. There was no other reason. It was just that Huo Yuhao's appearance was too outstanding. Standing out among the freshmen, everyone looked pale and the whole place was filled with grief. That's Huo Yuhao? What? Bad luck. I sent it. How do I fight this? Many people began to whisper, discuss tactics, and prepare to surrender, but some sharp-eyed people realized that Huo Yuhao was alone. Could it be that the rumors are true? The information that Huo Yuhao was alone in the group yesterday naturally spread, but because the news was too outrageous, no one believed it except for the freshman Class 9. Everyone else agreed that it was a smokescreen deliberately released by Class 9. It was not until they witnessed the fact with their own eyes that they had to admit the news was actually true. But in District 11, there was no one from Class 9 to answer their questions because of the same class avoidance rule. The college's draw will try to ensure that in the next 10 round-robin matches, teams from the same class will not meet. All freshmen, please note. All freshmen, please note. Please enter the assessment area immediately to prepare for the freshman assessment. There are still 10 minutes left to enter. If you are late, you will be deemed to have given up the assessment. The broadcast was heard loud enough to reach every corner of the outer courtyard. The freshmen all became serious. Their first test was coming. It would be a lie to say they were not nervous. The freshman assessment is so important that the Academy's broadcast reminders through the sole guide are of little use, as all the students have already arrived at their designated areas and are ready. The person in charge of their District 11 is Wang Yan. End of this chapter. Chapter 93. Wang Yan's attack. Wang Yan appeared in Area 11 this time specifically for Huo Yuhao. After giving advice to Masters 1 that day, Wang Yan happened to see the spirit fighting competition between Huo Yuhao and Su Sanchi. Or it would be more appropriate to say that it was a one-sided crushing victory because of the ice-attributed soul skills. Wang Yan vaguely guessed that Huo Yuhao might have a second martial soul. The original martial soul plus the twin martial souls are shocking. Moreover, after consulting a lot of information, Wang Yan even had a bold idea. Huo Yuhao is the kind of person who is blessed with a second awakening of his innate martial soul. He was a rare genius in many years as he was able to cultivate to level 27 at the age of 11 as a commoner with a lack of cultivation resources. In addition, Huo Yuhao's physical fitness far exceeded that of his peers, and he even defeated Su Sanchi, who was close to a 4-ring soul master, at the level of a great soul master. Coincidentally, the most notable feature of the second awakening of the main body martial soul is the significant improvement in physical fitness and soul power. Everything aligned perfectly. Therefore, Wang Yan later looked for Master Zhuan again. While continuing to recommend talents, he also wanted to learn about Huo Yuhao's subsequent training plan. As a result, Wang Yan got an even more terrifying answer from Master Zhuan. Huo Yuhao not only has twin martial souls and the second martial spirit is the ultimate ice. Such a unique talent has allowed Huo Yuhao to become an inner court disciple as an exception. It was also for this reason that Wang Yan cared more about Huo Yuhao, such a rare case. He really wanted to conduct research on his original martial soul, as well as Huo Yuhao's deeply hidden spiritual soul skills under the instruction of Master Zhuan. Wang Yan has already applied to the Academic Affairs Office for the position of class teacher. After the new students were assessed and divided into classes, Wang Yan planned to observe Huo Yuhao closely. After counting the number of people, he smiled and nodded. Very good. We have a total of 6 groups of students taking the assessment, and they are all here. Let me introduce myself first. My name is Wang Yan, and I will be your assessment teacher for the next 2 days. Hello, Teacher Wang. The students hurriedly bowed to him. Wang Yan laughed and said gently, no need to be so polite. My coaching habit has always been to treat everyone as friends. From now on until the end of the assessment, you are all my friends. But I must make it clear in advance that you must not injure your opponent during the assessment. Otherwise, I can only apologize and ask him to leave and report to the academy. The new students nodded to show that they understood. Everyone knows what Wang Yan meant. Leaving is equivalent to direct elimination, which is a disguised form of dismissal. Then, Wang Yan opened the folder in his hand. Without further delay, let's get started. First round, first match. Freshman Class 3, Su Yuanhao, Sun Jiabing, Yu Ying. Freshman Class 9, Huo Yuhao. You can enter the venue now, each in a corner. I said that you can release your martial spirits after the competition begins, so enter. 4 people entered and stood still. Wang Yan looked at everyone who was ready and nodded slightly. Game. Start. As soon as he finished speaking, the 3 people opposite Huo Yuhao immediately released their martial spirits. There are 2 second-ring great soul masters and 1 soul master. Originally, when they saw Huo Yuhao, they planned to admit defeat and give up. After all, this is a round-robin tournament, and you don't need to win all the games to qualify. It's better to hide your strength and save it for dealing with other weak opponents in the next few days. But Huo Yuhao is really alone. So what if the freshman is the strongest? Can you still fight 3 alone? They also witnessed Huo Yuhao's battle 3 months ago with their own eyes, and the battle process was even analyzed by their class teacher in class. In their opinion, a big reason why Huo Yuhao was able to defeat Su Sanchi was because Su Sanchi did not take it seriously and was caught off guard. First, having lost the initiative, the clumsy Su Sanchi had no time to release any more soul skills under Huo Yuhao's fierce attack. Therefore, the 3 felt that they had a chance of winning. They have 2 great soul masters, so as long as they don't encounter a soul masters team, they are capable of fighting 3 against 1. The advantage is on their side, can win. Then, the 3 of them, possessed by their martial spirits, shouted about bonds, friendship, the future, and so on, and rushed towards Huo Yuhao. Huo Yuhao naturally didn't indulge them. A purple gold light flashed in his eyes, and the spiritual eyes possessed him. 3 yellow and purple soul rings rose from under his feet. Then, the onlookers saw the 3rd soul ring behind Huo Yuhao flashing, and his figure instantly disappeared from the spot. The next moment, Huo Yuhao appeared again at the same time. There were 3 dull sounds. The 3 people who were charging forward all flew backwards. There was silence. Team Huo Yuhao from Class 9 won a match. After Wang Yan made the announcement, he wrote it down on the document in his hand. It was not until his voice was heard that the people watching the game came to their senses. Hiss, is this the end? Fuck. He's worthy of being the strongest freshman. Brothers, I surrender first. It's not shameful to admit defeat. I am convinced, Huo Yuhao's team consists of only one person. Sorry, they overestimated themselves seeing the failed outcome of the trio above. Everyone swallowed their saliva and couldn't help shivering. The strength of these three people is among the best even among all the freshmen. After all, most of the new students are at the level of Soul Masters at level 15 or 16, and there are only a handful of people who can reach the level of Great Soul Masters. It can be said that with two Great Soul Masters leading the team, they are basically guaranteed to advance to the top 64 in the knockout round. As a result, it is fleeting. No one even saw how the trio was dealt with. It was simply outrageous. Is this the freshman's strongest strength? Also, what the hell is a 3-ring Soul Master? 3 months have passed, and you have cultivated to the Soul Master realm? We are all new students, so what makes you stand out? Help! There are monsters here. All the freshmen in District 11 have lost their will to fight. He originally wanted to use his numbers to bully the minority, step on Huo Yuhao to get to the top and show off. It turned out that they were overthinking it. Wang Yan looked at Huo Yuhao silently, and his heart was also extremely shocked. Even with his own strength as a Soul King, he could only see Huo Yuhao's figure flash a few times in an instant before easily defeating his opponent. This is a spiritual skill? Are you kidding me? It must be a space-type teleportation soul skill. There are more and more mysteries surrounding Huo Yuhao, but at the same time, the spirit of research was ignited in Wang Yan's heart for the first time in a long time. Risking his reputation as a master of theory, he must find the secret of his martial soul. Achievement triggered. Achieve Wang Yan's achievement of a genius not to be missed and receive the reward of Shadow Goo. Shadow Recording Goo, 2nd level consumption goo worm, can be used to record images. Evaluation. You don't want your secret to be made public, right? This achievement that has been stuck for 3 months is finally completed. I really don't know what the reason for the judgment is. A disposable video recorder that can't record sound seems to be of little use. Huo Yuhao looked calmly at Wang Yan, whose eyes were burning with passion. Wang Yan relationship, friends unlocked. It doesn't matter. We'll have plenty of time to spend together in the future. The round-robin tournament will be fast-forwarded later. End of this chapter. Chapter 94. The round-robin ends. After the battle, Huo Yuhao said goodbye to Wang Yan and left. Wang Yan did not stop Huo Yuhao to ask in his opinion. Huo Yuhao must have completed the second awakening of his martial soul. As for the specific soul skill abilities, I'm afraid we'll have to wait until the knockout rounds to get a glimpse of them. The first round of freshman assessment ended quickly. Today's assessment was mainly to allow the freshmen to adapt to this combat-style assessment method. The assessment density will be greatly increased tomorrow. There will be 2 rounds of assessment in the morning and afternoon, for a total of 4 rounds. On the third day, each team will have 5 rounds of assessment. The freshman assessment elimination round lasts only 3 days, which not only trains the students' practical ability, but also their ability to fight a protracted war. Playing 4 or 5 games a day not only consumes soul power, but also physical strength. Of course, this is just a formality for other participating teams. For a strongman like Huo Yuhao, it is just a formality. Under the intensive competition system, the freshmen in other groups are not fools. In order to achieve better results, they directly choose to abstain when facing Huo Yuhao. In stark contrast to the exhausted other freshman teams, Huo Yuhao didn't even have to make any moves and yet still won all the games. Soon it was the third day. The teams that lost all 5 games would be eliminated, and the rest would be redrawn. In addition to considering whether to avoid conflicts with classmates, previous battle records will also be taken into consideration. As a team that had won all 5 games, Huo Yuhao stayed in Area 11 to continue the assessment because the teams that had been completely defeated had been eliminated. The teams that had been redivided into Area 11 were relatively stronger. There were 3 teams with Great Soul Masters, but they still did not pose any threat to Huo Yuhao. How history always repeats itself. Everyone thought that Huo Yuhao, who was alone, was a weakling. Then, after Huo Yuhao established his prestige, he once again achieved 5 consecutive victories effortlessly, with the unlucky guy in the 6th game taking the lead. Everyone present knew how to act and act accordingly. When facing Huo Yuhao, they put up a symbolic resistance before admitting defeat. In the end, Huo Yuhao's team, representing the freshman class 9, won all 10 games in the round-robin stage, achieved the best result in the region, and advanced to the top 64 knockout rounds. The round-robin matches were all over, and Wang Yan finally couldn't hold back any longer. Huo Yuhao, please stay for a moment. While the other teams went back to rest, Huo Yuhao was stopped by him. Teacher. Huo Yuhao came in front of Wang Yan. Wang Yan smiled and congratulated Yuhao. Congratulations on your undefeated record in the freshman assessment round-robin tournament. There are probably no more than 10 teams that can achieve such a result in the freshman assessment. Even if you are the only one, you are worthy of your own strength. However, I have always been very curious, Yuhao, what exactly is your spirit eye soul skill? Your teleportation soul skill should not be a soul bone skill, right? If nothing unexpected happens, it is the third soul skill. But from beginning to end, you have never used the first two soul skills of your spirit eye. Can you help me solve this puzzle, Ho? Yuhao nodded. Teacher Wang, I told you last time that my spirit eye's martial soul is a spiritual attribute martial soul. You are right in guessing that I obtained the third soul ring from a soul beast with space attributes, and I was lucky enough to obtain the teleportation soul skill. As for the first two soul skills of spirit eyes, they are both auxiliary spiritual soul skills. His spiritual eye martial soul was not a big secret in the academy, and many people knew about it. As for soul skills, that is completely different. Except for a few people, Huo Yuhao has basically never revealed them. Even Wang Dong was not very clear about his spiritual eye soul skills. Only Tangya and Bei knew that his second soul skill was simulation. That's true. Wang Yan took a deep breath, calmed down his inner shock and joy, and continued, okay, Yuhao, I'm sorry for taking up your time. Go back and rest. We'll see each other soon after the freshman assessment. If you have any questions about martial arts training in the future, you can come to my office to find me. After satisfying his curiosity, Wang Yan left. Of course, he had no intention of asking abruptly about such a sensitive issue as the second awakening of the main body's martial soul. This was mainly because the knowledge in this area was too scarce, and even he, who had studied martial soul theory very deeply, did not know much about it. And with the endorsement of Master Xuan, Wang Yan also knew that Huo Yuhao was not from the body sect and his family background was clean. Huo Yuhao also turned and left, heading towards the inner courtyard cafeteria. Wang Yan relationship, close friends achievement task, waiting for refresh. On the other side, District 33 Wang Dong and his two-member team played all their cards and entered the top 64 with a perfect record. Of course, Wang Dong did not use the clear sky hammer. I have to say that the Tang sect's unique skills are quite useful in dealing with these freshmen. After 10 battles, only the Land Sister's tight net left a deep impression on her soul. Fusion technique. Wang Dong felt a little emotional. If she had used this excuse to enter class 9, it would have been a good choice. At least I can team up with Yuhao and easily win the championship. Of course, Wang Dong was just thinking about it. As far as the current 3-person team goes, it's actually not bad. After 10 games in 3 days, the relationship between Wang Dong, Xiao and Bai Yan quickly became closer, especially when facing the trio of Wang Chushan, Lan Susu and Lan Luoluo. Because of the information Huo Yuhao had told him before, Wang Dong knew that there were 3 special recruits at the Soul Master level who needed attention among this year's freshmen. You also have to be careful about the Land Sister's soul fusion skills. Therefore, Wang Dong was not killed by Chu Jian due to his carelessness, but in order to deal with the tight net, she and Bai Yan were running around in the air and had no time to spare. Fortunately, Xiao alone withstood the pressure from Wang Chushan. This also made Wang Dong get to know Xiao again. I originally thought that she was just Yuhao's little fangirl, but I didn't expect that Xiao not only had such a strong character, but also had strong beliefs. After separating from Bai Yan, Wang Dong and Xiao happened to be on their way. Xiao couldn't help but sigh. Squad leader, the twins' martial soul fusion skills are really strong. They can even tie up both of you. If they both have 3 rings, I'm afraid we will definitely lose today. Wang Dong nodded. Yes, although the martial soul fusion technique cannot last long, it is extremely powerful and has strong explosive power. It can be said to be the top skill of the Soul Master. In the future, as their soul power level increases, it will be difficult for people of the same level to compete with them. Xiao whispered, I thought that as the strongest trio in the freshman class, we could easily win all the games in the round-robin tournament, but I didn't expect that we almost lost. I'm afraid that we will disappoint Teacher Zhou's expectations in the next games. Suddenly, Wang Dong made a shocking statement. It's okay, we just need to do our best. Xiao, do you think it's possible for us to also have the martial soul fusion technique? Xiao. End of this chapter. Chapter 95. The only chance in this life. Words. Wang Dong was eager to try. Look, Xiao, this year's freshmen not only have the Land Sisters martial soul fusion skills, but even class 5 has the Nether White Tiger's fusion skills. Since we are classmates by chance, it is reasonable for us to have a martial soul fusion skill, right? Plus, the soul fusion skills of Wang Dong himself and Huo Yuhao. There are actually 3 pairs among the freshman class. Isn't that outrageous? In addition, Wang Dong and Xiao Xiao both have twin martial souls, which are rare in decades. The last person who had such a coincidence was Huo Yuhao. Since the spiritual eyes can produce a chemical reaction with both of Wang Dong's martial souls, there is no reason why she and Xiao Xiao won't have one, especially Wang Dong. Her second martial soul, the Clear Sky Hammer, is a weapon martial soul. The degree of compatibility will definitely surpass that of Ling Mao. The more Wang Dong thought about it, the more it felt right. She simply grabbed Xiao Xiao with both hands, feeling the difference between her and Huo Yuhao when he activated his martial soul fusion technique. Maybe it's because I often get along with Yuhao and I'm used to letting myself go. Wang Dong forgot one thing. She is currently dressed as a man. Moreover, she has never exposed her second martial soul in the eyes of others. This excuse is outrageous and almost like being a hooligan. Such a sudden attack scared Xiao Xiao. She simply shook off Wang Dong's hand. Wang Dong, you idiot, did you listen to the class carefully? Teacher Zhou said that the martial soul fusion technique must have a very high degree of compatibility between the martial souls of both parties in order to be possible. It can be said that it is 1 in 1,000. It is impossible for us. At this moment, Xiao Xiao was both embarrassed and annoyed. How could a beast spirit like the light goddess butterfly be so compatible with his 2 weapon spirits? Besides, once the martial spirits of 2 people are highly compatible, they will feel something when they meet. Although they have been in the same class for such a long time, Xiao Xiao has never felt a sense of compatibility with Wang Dong. On the contrary, it was the monitor of class 9, first meeting, marriage. Okay, that's a bit exaggerated. Although Xiao Xiao was attracted by Huo Yuhao's appearance, but what moved her even more was his cooking skills as a foodie. I can say that once I see grilled fish, I will be ruined for life. Especially some time ago, when Huo Yuhao came back from hunting souls, he did not forget Xiao Xiao and specially share the dark gold deer or claw bear meat with them. The taste is unforgettable. Anyone who marries Huo Yuhao in the future will be extremely happy. Who doesn't want to have a boyfriend with great cooking skills? If Zhou Yi's training hadn't been too strict, Xiao Xiao would have thought about taking the initiative to chase Huo Yuhao in Xiao Xiao's heart. Huo Yuhao's score was much higher than Wang Dong's. It's the inner beauty that matters. Straight men like Wang Dong are just good-looking guys with good looks. Although being a teammate is reliable, it's better not to get along with him. That's true. I was just daydreaming. Wang Dong felt a little embarrassed and his face turned red at this moment. She remembered Huo Yuhao's instructions not long ago. Just focus on improving your soul power level. The martial soul fusion technique is just one of the soul master's methods. The true strength still depends on the soul master himself. Do your best in the freshman assessment. The status of a core disciple is still very important to you. As long as you don't encounter the spirit fusion skill of the nether white tiger of Daihulbin from class 5, the other teams will be able to fight. You ask me? I definitely won't let you down. But if you really match me, I can give you time to show your abilities. There was no conversation along the way. Before leaving, Xiao Xiao encouraged Wang Dong, try your best. At least strive to get into the top 3. The top 3 will get substantial rewards. The 4th place will get nothing. Wang Dong nodded slightly. Well, let's do our best together. Bye. Yan, who is not present. What about me? Well, she was just a passing soul master who was taken down. After 3 days of intense and exciting assessments, the freshman assessment can be said to be basically over. The results and rankings have been announced, and those with weak abilities can now pack their bags and prepare to go home after a day's rest. The top 64 teams will need to participate in subsequent qualifying rounds. This day's rest period is not only for the contestants to recover their physical strength, but also for the eliminated students to pack up their minds and luggage and leave the academy one day later. The elimination round of the top 64 teams in the freshman assessment began. Although more than half of the freshmen were directly eliminated, the entire Shrek Academy became a bit deserted. But in the assessment area, the excitement was far greater than before, with many senior students coming to join in the fun outside the assessment area. There was a row of teachers from the academy standing. There were nearly 30 of them, and they had already started to call the roll as a team. Wang Dong and 2 other people gathered together and exchanged information in a low voice. Xiao Xiao spoke first, looking a little worried. Oh no. After Mr. Zhou's analysis yesterday, it is really difficult for us to win the championship. As expected, Our Shrek Academy is never short of geniuses. In yesterday's class, although Joey praised all 19 groups in the class for the first time because they passed the freshman assessment, she revealed a disgraceful smile. In fact, because Wang Dong and the other two won all the games, Joey even gave them some class rewards for the first time. But at the same time, Joey also brought bad news among the other 6 teams that won all the round-robin matches. 4 of them had 3-ring Soul Masters. Wang Dong was a little unimpressed. So what if it's Soul Master? What's wrong? Even our great genius with twin martial souls has lost his confidence. Xiao. Xiao curled her lips and smiled bitterly. Those 4 soul lords are obviously not that easy to deal with. Think about it, even the class monitor is only level 24 now. How strong must one's martial soul be to be able to break through the 3rd environment before the age of 12? Even Teacher Joe is not optimistic about us. I think we can only set our goal at number 4. Hearing this, Wang Dong's pretty face turned red. It's because she was lazy and didn't practice much before. If she had worked half as hard as she does now, it would have been easy for Wang Dong to reach the Soul Master realm. Bai Yan also nodded and said, I am very satisfied to have come this far. From now on, I can only do my best and leave the rest to fate. Fortunately, because we have won all the round-robin matches, we will be treated preferentially in the first 2 rounds and will not encounter a team with a Soul Master so soon. Seeing that the 2 of them were a little depressed, Wang Dong said seriously, perhaps, our overall strength is not as good as the Soul Master team, but if we lose confidence now, then we will have no chance at all. Moreover, we also have our own advantages, and our hidden strength has never been exposed. For us, although it is difficult to win the championship, it is not without chance. You must cheer up. Wang Dong also learned about Huo Yuhao's eccentricity from Joey yesterday. He actually formed a team alone. I'm afraid Yuhao didn't expect that he would be targeted by the academy like this. Isn't that the opportunity? That pervert Huo Yuhao broke through from level 27 to Soul Master in just 3 months. It was really outrageous. Wang Dong had a hunch that this 3-on-1 situation was definitely her only chance in her life. The only chance to defeat Huo Yuhao head on. The gap in the future may only get bigger and bigger. No matter how strong he is now, he can't fight 3 people alone, right? As for other teams with Soul Masters, Wang Dong didn't take it seriously. Just as Yuhao said, we just need to be careful of Dai Huoban's martial soul fusion technique from class 5. Apart from Huo Yuhao and Dai Huoban's team, she is not afraid of anyone else as long as they can hold back the Soul Master on the opposite side. Xiao Oxio and the others can definitely eliminate the rest of the opponents. Moreover, even if they meet Dai Huoban, as long as they eliminate the owner of the Netherworld Spirit Cat martial spirit in advance, they will be sure to win. The advantage is mine. Although his soul power level is a bit low, Wang Dong is still somewhat confident in his physical fitness. Xiao's confidence seemed to be reawakened, and she nodded slightly. Then let's fight. Anyway, we'll fight to the best of our ability. Let's work hard together. Bai Yan was also excited. The monitor is right. No matter who the opponent is, just try your best. Reaching the top 16 would be considered a success. Wang Dong stretched out his hand. Strive for the championship. The 3 of them put their hands together. Come on. Situations like these 3 are common among freshmen. Huo Yuhao was alone in a team, so he was out of place. Fortunately, he had the encouragement of Hu Senior among the teachers on the high platform. An inner court disciple dressed in red stood out. Mazaya Ateo used her spirit power to send a message to Huo Yuhao. Yuhao, I skipped class this time to cheer for you. Is it okay for you to win the championship? Huo Yuhao also replied in a voice transmission. No big deal, Sister Tao, just watch my performance. Huo Yuhao gave a thumbs up. Soon, Duelin, the director of the Martial Spirit Department of the External Affairs College, had finished calling the roll, and the next step was to draw lots. It was just an assessment for freshmen, without too many complicated ceremonies. Representatives from each team drew lots and were matched with opponents according to their lots. All 64 groups of students participating in the elimination round were divided into 32 matches and competed team by team. The students had a day off yesterday, and the assessment area had been improved, with only the partitions being relocated, and it was divided into 16 areas. This time, the area of each area was increased several times, and the students participating in the elimination rounds would have a wider space to display their skills. The rules during the elimination round were simple: 1 match in the morning and 1 in the afternoon. The eliminated teams went back to class directly, and the winning team stayed to continue the competition. and it took a total of 3 days to decide the top 3 after the draw. The 64-32 competition began immediately, and the 32 games were held at the same time. In this way, the assessment time will be shortened as much as possible, and the winning students will have sufficient rest time after the competition to facilitate the afternoon competition. The area Huo Yuhao was drawn to was the third area, and the invigilator was also replaced. This time it was a female teacher in her 30s who looked very kind. There were only numbers when drawing lots, and Huo Yuhao didn't know what kind of opponent he would meet, so he waited until he arrived at the venue to take a look. His opponents are very recognizable in the other team. There is a pair of female students who look exactly the same. Both female students had long blue hair and pretty rosy faces. They looked very cute and seemed to be a little younger than Huo Yuhao. In front of the twins was a tall and burly male student. He said, "My name is Wang Chushan. They are Lan Susu on the left and Lan Luoluo on the right. Please give me some advice, Huo Yuhao. Please give me some advice." End of this chapter. If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelists. There you'll find the original version of this story, and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We're waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 96-16 Intro 8. The 3 people on the opposite side are all great soul masters above level 20. It was Wang Chushan's team that caused great trouble to Wang Dong's team. The root cause is the martial arts fusion skill of the twin girls Lan Susu and Lan Luoluo, the net of heaven and earth. This is the first martial soul fusion skill to appear in the original work. The dragnet gave Wang Dong a huge setback when they met for the first time. If it weren't for Hogua's soul shock, the opponent might have had a chance to turn the tables and win. Of course, this chance is also very slim. The biggest function of the dragnet is to reasonably draw out the subsequent power of Haodong among the 3 opponents. Wang Chushan is naturally the strongest individually, but his real killer is the Lan sisters' soul fusion technique. It's a pity that although the strength is good, the luck is not very good. They lost 3 out of 10 round-robin matches and had used their only trump card, the martial soul fusion skill, which was now in its cooldown period. This is the disadvantage of the martial soul fusion technique. It is not an ordinary soul skill, and it is not as easy to perform as a soul skill. It requires both the martial soul and spirit of both parties to be in the best condition at the same time before it can be performed, and there is a certain buffer time after performing the martial soul fusion. During this time, the martial soul fusion skill cannot be used again. Generally speaking, this buffer time is about 7 days, and the buffer time will gradually decrease as the cultivation level of the soul masters on both sides increases, at least until both parties' cultivation base reaches level 70 and they possess their martial soul true forms. They can use the martial soul fusion technique at will, but in the original novel, Hogua and Wang Dong are 100% compatible. Not only do they possess the power of Haodong that accelerates their cultivation, they also have 4 martial soul fusion skills, and the buffer time is only 3 days. It's simply outrageous. Wang Chushan and the other 2 looked at Huo Yuhao. Although they knew the chances of winning were slim, they did not intend to give up. Who wouldn't be a proud genius to have made it to this point in the Shrek freshman assessment? How could they just give up resistance just because the opponent was famous and a soul master? After all, there is only one person on the other side. As long as there is only a slight chance of winning, they must fight for it. As the seed team of the freshman class 7, they are tasked with reaching the top 3. No, the top 10. The past was before and the present is now. The defeat in the round-robin tournament is a thing of the past. There is no tolerance for mistakes in the knockout rounds, and once you fail, you will be eliminated directly. Play every game as if it were your last and leave no regrets. For such an idea, Huo Yuhao smiled slightly. He will behave himself after a beating. Ready. The game begins. Following the referee's shout, Wang Chushan took the lead and summoned his martial soul, the Hercules ape. After being possessed by the martial spirit, Wang Chushan's clothes exploded instantly. His height soared from 1.5 meters to 1.8 meters. His sturdy muscles burst through his skull uniform. The exposed skin turned iron black, his eyes turned yellow, and his 2 canine teeth protruded. Lan Luoluo and Lan Susu's martial spirits are hair. With a shake of their heads, their long blue hair quickly blooms in the air and turns into blue hair that is more than 10 meters long. Fluttering in the air, the spirit rings of the 3 are all 2 yellow great spirit masters. Without waiting for Huo Yuhao to react, the twin girls were facing each other at this moment, holding their hands together. A strong soul power wave suddenly burst out from them. The blue hair that was more than 10 meters long flew up instantly, forming a large net in the air, and flew straight towards Huo Yuhao, spreading a net This is the identical first soul skill of the twin girls. The two identical soul skills plus their telepathic coordination make the big blue net without any blind spots or flaws. Roar. Similarly, Wang Chushan roared angrily, clasped his hands and raised them above his head. His second soul ring lit up, and a thick yellow light covered his whole body. Finally gathering at his fists, the second soul skill is the Kannonheimer of Force. With a loud shout, a solid yellow ball of light instantly shot out from his fists and headed straight for Huo Yuhao. The battle had already entered a white-hot stage at the very beginning. Wang Chushan and the other two have already put in all their efforts, intending to achieve their goal in one go. And then, no more, the attention of everyone present was attracted by the three spirit rings, one yellow and two purple, rising from under Huo Yuhao's feet. Under the eyes of everyone in disbelief, Huo Yuhao took a step forward. As if he was crossing countless distances, his figure instantly appeared in front of Wang Chushan and the other two. With every casual strike, it seemed as if it was filled with unparalleled momentum. The three men's eyes went dark and they all fell to the ground. The referee was a little confused when he saw Wang Chushan and the other two fainted. He immediately went forward to check the condition of the three people. After confirming that the three were just unconscious, he announced, "Freshman Class 9, Huo Yuhao's Team 1. They entered the top 32. The battle ended instantly. The teachers on the viewing platform hadn't even reacted yet, and the faces of the few teachers who noticed a battle were filled with shock. Is this how I win? So fast? No wonder Huo Yuhao is a solo team. With such strength, he is truly a cliff-like leader. That's normal. After all, the Lan sisters' martial soul fusion skills are still in the cool-down period. It's not unfair for them to lose. This year's champion should be between Class 9 and Class 5. This soul skill is quite interesting. Less than a minute, the fastest legend in the knockout round." Wang Yan looked at Huo Yuhao's departing back with fiery eyes. His shock was beyond words, and he even rubbed his hands subconsciously. Wang Yan could see that Huo Yuhao's casual attack that ended the game just now was not simple at all, and it was a certain mental attack. Therefore, Wang Chushan and the other two fainted at the same time. Is this the prototype of a self-created soul skill, such a talent? Similarly, he also noticed the sisters Lan Luoluo and Lan Susuhair should also be considered as the body's martial soul, right? Moreover, Wang Yan also knew that these two girls were able to perform martial soul fusion techniques, and their future development potential was definitely not weak. It's a pity that he had the bad luck to run into Huo Yuhao. Otherwise, this team should be able to go further. There are so many talented people worth noting among this class of freshmen. For Wang Dong's team, fighting is also easy, although the opponent was very resilient, with Wang Dong and Xiao Xiao attacking at the same time and Bai Yan restraining him on the side. It took less than 10 minutes to resolve the battle and successfully enter the top 32. The three of them left happily. The same is true for the 32-16 round in the afternoon. Although it has reached the knockout stage, some students with strong individual strength have begun to show their potential and strength. However, it is not easy for a team to win 10 games in a row during the round-robin stage in the case of no match when dealing with other people. There was no failure until the drawing ceremony the next day. The viewing platform, located in the north of the assessment area, is 20 meters above the ground and supported by 6 metal pillars. From a height of 20 meters, it is enough to overlook the entire assessment area and see clearly the situation of the competition in each venue. There were many more people on the viewing platform today than yesterday. The game hadn't started yet, but it was already full of people, with shadowy figures in the center of the platform. There was an empty space of about 3 square meters. A sloppy old man was sitting there, drinking wine from a large purple gourd in his hand. There were a few roasted chicken legs placed on the oil paper beside him. He also held a chicken leg in his hand, taking a sip of wine and a bite of meat, enjoying the meal very much. It was the chicken leg. Douluo, Zuanzi, Master Zhuan, you are here. Wang Yan respectfully walked up to the slovenly old man and greeted him in a low voice. Yes. The old man just hummed and continued eating and drinking. Wang Yan pointed to the audience and said, "I found a few good students yesterday. They are just..." When he said this, Mr. Zhuan waved the drumstick impatiently and said, "I can see it myself." Yes. Wang Yan said no more and stepped aside. The lottery is over, and the freshman assessment knockout round officially begins. The playing area has been expanded again, with 8 wide fields starting games at the same time. Huo Yuhao's opponent still does not have a soul master. Interestingly, when he took the time to use mental detection to survey the entire field, he also discovered that there were a total of 4 teams with soul masters, including his own, and none of them collided with each other. Even Wang Dong and the others were matched with weak opponents different from the rough fortune in the original work after Huo Yuhao and Wang Dong separated. Their luck improved. Scattered are stars in the sky now. 2 negatives equal a positive. Huo Yuhao's opponents this time are all boys, freshmen. Class 10, Josichin, a master of the assault system, new. Student Class 10, Long Xiangyu, master of agility and attack system, freshman. Class 10, Xiao Jingxun, master of the control system, the. Sonorous and powerful voices demonstrated their confidence. Facing a demon-level existence like Huo Yuhao, they showed no fear at all. Don't even mention whether you can win or not, you must first have the momentum, new. Students of Class 9, Huo Yuhao, a strong attack-type combat spirit master, Huo Yuhao also used a common name, which was considered an unwritten rule in the Soul Master world. Is it a time-related martial spirit? Huo Yuhao looked at Xiao Jingxun opposite him and showed a hint of interest. If I remember correctly, his martial soul is called the Time Flies Bell, and its rarity among weapon martial souls is no less than the light goddess butterfly possessed by Wang Dong among beast martial souls in the original novel. The three of them met the Hogwarts team in the semifinals. He looked very strong when he first appeared, but was killed instantly by Hogwarts Soul Shock, and he didn't have many roles later on. Although time-based martial spirits are extremely rare and powerful, it is actually very difficult to become a strong one. After all, time-type soul beasts are extremely rare. The last time Huo Yuhao was looking for a suitable external soul bone in the starred out Great Forest, he didn't see any soul beasts with time attributes, let alone soul beasts with space attributes. Xiao Jingxun's eyes were fixed, and his whole body was emitting a distorted halo. Even if you looked at him closely, he would appear blurry. And just above his head, an exquisite clock rose quietly. The entire clock is shaped like a city gate, round on top and square on the bottom. The white clock body is half a meter high. The dial inside is round, and there is a rotor engraved with the golden patterns underneath that sways slightly. It's now, Xiao Jingxun shouted, and his 2 soul rings lit up at the same time. Distorted light suddenly flew down and directly enveloped Huo Yuhao. Josichin and Long Xiangyu also seized this rare opportunity and took action together. This is their tactic to deal with Huo Yuhao. I didn't expect the other party to be so cooperative. Can win. End of this chapter. Chapter 97, Civil War of Class. Generally speaking, in team-type fighting spirit competitions, the role of a controlled type soul master is to control the opponent and create suitable opportunities for teammates, just like what Xiao Jingxun is doing now, but his cultivation level was only that of a great soul master. Facing Huo Yuhao, who was a soul master, he inherently lost his advantage because of the difference in cultivation level. If one rashly attacks first, one will only lose the initiative and be easily counterattacked by the opponent. Fortunately, Xiao Jingxun's martial soul is the time-fleeting clock, which possesses the attribute of time, and his own time attribute soul skills are special. Moreover, there was only one person on the opposite side, isolated and helpless. More importantly, Huo Yuhao did not dodge or evade his soul skills. The winning formula has been written. Xiao Jingxun was confident that even if Huo Yuhao's cultivation was 1 level higher than his, he would still be controlled by him for at least 3 seconds if he exerted all his strength to control him, and these short 3 seconds are enough for his teammates to give their full output. This is our passionate team up, a righteous 3-on-1. At the moment when the control soul skill hit Huo Yuhao, Xiao Jingxun's teammates move, the cooperation is perfect. Long Xiangyu's martial soul is a boomerang. The moment he attacks, the 2 soul rings on his body light up at the same time. A sound of breaking through the air was heard, and the boomerang shone brightly, drawing a graceful arc and heading straight towards Huo Yuhao. Josichin's martial soul is a treasure book, which can directly absorb the soul rings of the soul beasts he killed and transform them into his own abilities. The biggest feature is that there is no attribute restriction, and the abilities of any soul beast can be absorbed and used. The 2 soul skills he released transformed into a bear with yellow light flashing all over its body, and a tiger with flames rising all over its body. The earth bear and the flame demon tiger roared at the same time and rushed towards Huo Yuhao. Even the referee thought that Huo Yuhao, who was controlled due to carelessness, was already a piece of cake and his defeat was inevitable, so he was ready to rescue him at any time. However, only when Xiao Jingxun was using this soul skill on Huo Yuhao did he realize how naive his thoughts were. Looking at the calm Huo Yuhao, Xiao Jingxun's pale face was filled with horror. What happened? It was clearly him who used the spirit skill against Huo Yuhao, so how come it ended up affecting himself instead? In panic, he wanted to shout to alert his teammates' plans have changed. Xiao Jingxun opened his mouth and wanted to speak, but suddenly realized that at this moment, time seemed to have been delayed artificially and he could not do anything. This is. We can never reach the truth of the voice. I could only watch my two teammates go up and die for nothing. Huo Yuhao's figure disappeared when they appeared again. The three opponents had all fainted. Capture the thief first and capture the king. At this moment, the three of them are in their weakest state because they are focusing on output control. Although Zhou Sichen's treasured martial soul is powerful, as a summoner, he himself has no offensive power. You can't let him use the book in his hand to beat people, right? The same was true for Long Xiangyu. Although he could retract the boomerang directly, he was unable to muster any intention of resistance under Huo Yuhao's huge fist. As for Xiao Jingxun, he was still under Huo Yuhao's counterattack just when Xiao Jingxun's control soul skill hit Huo Yuhao. Huo Yuhao's spiritual eyes were immediately alarmed, and a purple gold light flashed, bouncing back the opponent's time control spirit skill and strengthening it. Magic, the mirror world turns. Humph, nothing can escape these eyes. The evolved spiritual eyes are no longer just the kings of time and space. Although Huo Yuhao does not have any soul skills to rely on now and cannot manipulate the power of time at will, he still has the help of the soul bone attached to the time and space demon eye. It is no problem at all to rebound a great soul master's time soul skill. Huo Yuhao's team won again and entered the quarterfinals. Wang Yan in the stands couldn't help but sigh that the quality of this year's freshman was far better than ever before, especially Huo Yuhao, who dominated everyone. What a monster! Wang Yan's breathing became a little rapid, and he looked at Huo Yuhao with burning eyes. Although he was very optimistic about Huo Yuhao, he was also worried for him when he was controlled unexpectedly. The final outcome was so devastating. Moreover, this is not all about Huo Yuhao, but he knew that Huo Yuhao's second martial soul was ultimate ice. However, during the entire freshman assessment, Huo Yuhao never used his second martial soul. This boy is so terrifying. A unique, unprecedented genius. I'm afraid that even the Lord Sea God 10,000 years ago was far inferior to him. Old Zhuan ate the chicken leg slowly and took a sip of wine. He was accustomed to Huo Yuhao's behavior. After all, Huo Yuhao, who was at the great soul master level, was able to fight against a soul emperor when he exerted his full strength. Now that he had broken through to the soul master level, it was normal for him to perform like this. As for Ling Mao's third soul skill, which is teleportation, Xuanzi also discovered it, but it can only be regarded as icing on the cake in his opinion. Huo Yuhao's real combat power comes from his ultimate ice martial spirit. Huo Yuhao is destined to become the ultimate Douluo. If a soul master wants to break through from level 98 to level 99, the ultimate Douluo, he must have a certain level of mastery over the power of space at that level. These short-lived spirit rings are basically of little help. Even for rare space spirit skills, there is only one thing Xuanzi cares about. That was the prototype of Huo Yuhao's self-created soul skill. Xuanzi could see that this already had the meaning of the initial fusion of mental power and soul power. This unique move is a bit like Mu Lao's dominance over the world. Mr. Mu, did you finally take action? Xuanzi's plan to steal the chicken ultimately failed. He only hated that he couldn't accept Yuhao as his last disciple. It is obvious that Huo Yuhao's talent in cooking is not inferior to his talent in cultivation. It is indeed the first regret in life. The time comes in the afternoon. Only the final 8 teams remain in the knockout stage. Huo Yuhao and Wang Dong's team are one of them. Among the 8 teams, 4 are led by freshmen at the Soul Master level. Such a grand occasion has not appeared in Shrek Academy for hundreds of years. Watching the game from the high platform, Yu Jin held the railing tightly with both hands, frowning. Originally, the number 1 and number 2 seeds in her class had both made it into the quarterfinals, and she was very proud of herself. However, after she was proud for the whole afternoon, she dealt him a heavy blow in the afternoon. The draw for the quarterfinals turned out to be a civil war among Class 9. Now, both the palms and the backs of my hands are made of flesh. Hibiscus was a little overwhelmed. To be fair, she hoped that Huo Yuhao would win the championship. After all, in a 3-person team competition, it was unprecedented for a single person to win. Only, Mujin. What a coincidence that the 2 teams in your class bumped into each other and had to engage in a civil war. What a pity. A faint voice sounded. Mujin didn't need to look back to know that it was Zhou Yi, the old woman dressed in ugly clothes. So, what? Doesn't your class have good grades? I want to see how many of your students can make it into the top 4. Mu Jin's eyes turned cold and she said sarcastically, your good luck has come to an end. I just looked at the draw. Your class is the only team that has run into the freshman class too with a soul master. Guess who will win? Zhou Yi's eyes narrowed. You don't have to worry about that, Mu Jin smiled and said, nothing is absolute. However, I haven't heard of any particularly outstanding talents in your class this time, at least no Soul Master. What a pity, Zhou. Yi's eyes turned cold. Are you here to provoke me? The smile on Mu Jin's face also disappeared. Didn't you start it first, Zhou? Yi said calmly. Want to make a bet, Mu Jin's current goal is to anger and humiliate Zhou Yi. She will remember for the rest of her life that Zhou Yi expelled her brother. Therefore, Mu Jin also got excited. Bet. What do you want to bet with me, Zhou? Yi looked into Mu Jin's eyes and said in a deep voice, a piece of soul bone. Do you dare? Hearing the word soul bone, Mu Jin's lost sanity returned to her. Just you? Let's talk about it when you can make it to the semifinals. Hibiscus is not stupid. She is not familiar with the Zihuanayu team in Class 2. Although Zihuanayu is a Soul Master level fighter, Wang Dong from Class 1 is obviously not to be underestimated. In the previous competition, Mu Jin also collected information about Wang Dong, the butterfly of the goddess of light, can fly, the second ring of the millennium. It's hard to say who will win or lose against Zihuanayu if things really go wrong. She would lose both the wife and the army steady. I hope your class can make it to the semifinals. You are not qualified to bet with me right now, Mu Jin taunted Zhou Yi, then slipped away. Finding a suitable empty seat to observe the battle that was about to begin, Zhou Yi was slightly happy when she saw Mu Jin being scared away. Although she looks confident now, she is still feeling unsure at the moment. Although before the game started, Zhou Yi asked Wang Dong and the other two to try their best to win the championship, but she also didn't expect that this year there were 3 Soul Master level special recruits lying in ambush, which made the situation very difficult. It was beyond Zhou Yi's expectation that Wang Dong and the other two could reach this point. The reason for proposing the bet of soul bones was mainly because Zhou Yi was a competitive person and a face-conscious person. He was very upset by Mu Jin's weird treatment, so Zhou Yi made a shocking statement and relied on the expensive soul bone bet to scare Mu Jin away. Even 100-year soul bone is extremely rare and extremely expensive. Zhou Yi looked at Wang Dong and the other two below and broke into a sweat. Will it win? After all, we have reached the quarterfinals. No one wants to give up. The same is true for Zhou Yi. After all, my admission rate this time is 100%. If Wang Dong and the others can win, then they might be able to get promoted to senior professional titles. You must keep up the good work, Wang Dong. Zhou Yi believes that the breakthrough lies with Wang Dong. At the same time, in assessment area number 3, new student of Class 9, Huo Yuhao against the freshman Class 9, Ningguan, Wu Feng, and Namin Yuna. It's on the verge. End of this chapter. Chapter 98. The sky cleared and the rain stopped. Assessment area. Peach, following the direction of the voice, Mazaya Ateo subconsciously looked over and said with a slightly excited tone, Teacher, you are here too. You have to call me by my title when you are outside. Call me the Dean, Yan. Shaozi had a faint smile on his face. I took the time to come and see Yuhao's performance. It's only been 3 months since we last met, but I didn't expect Yuhao to give us such a huge surprise. He is worthy of being the #1 genius of Shrek Academy in 100 years. Indeed, Yuhao is now a Soul Master, and his strength is much stronger than before. Zaya Ateo can testify, so she has a say in this matter. When the two of them were eliminating the evil fire earlier, Huo Yuhao was obviously much faster than the great Soul Master. Moreover, originally she could have had a slight advantage when the two of them were getting along, but in recent times she has been at a disadvantage. Thinking of this, Mazaya Ateo's pretty face turned red. Yan Shao's raised his eyebrows and glanced at his disciple. It seems that the progress between you is going smoothly. How can there be? When this matter was mentioned, Mazaya Ateo turned her head and changed the subject abruptly. Let's not talk about this. Teacher, didn't you say that if Yuhao could win the final championship, there would be a special reward? What is it, Yan? Shao's chuckled at Mazaya Ateo's attempt to cover up her mistake. Such a natural development of a relationship actually pleased him deeply, and he was naturally happy to see it happen. I won't tell you yet, I'll keep some surprises. Don't think I don't know. Last time, it was you who revealed it to Yuhao in advance, and that's how he learned about the solo team. If you don't want to talk about it, then don't talk about it. Let's watch the game. As the 4 people slowly entered the arena and stood still, the teacher who served as the referee also spoke. Both parties share the same name, Freshman. Class 9, Ningguan, Level 32 Auxiliary Weapon Soul Master, Freshman. Class 9, Wu Feng, Level 26 Strong Attack Spirit Master, 9th. Class of Freshman, Namin Yunar, Level 24 Agility Attack Type War Spirit Master. This time, it was Ningguang who spoke first. She directly and openly stated her soul power level in exchange for the other party's information and intelligence. Although they had been practicing in the same class with Huo Yuhao for 3 months, they did not know much accurate information about Huo Yuhao. Ningguang only knew that Huo Yuhao's cultivation speed was incredibly fast, and he didn't know whether he used resources to speed up his cultivation. It only took him 1 month to raise his soul power level by 2 levels, and he took a leave of absence 2 months ago to obtain his 3rd soul ring. In other words, Huo Yuhao now has at least 2,000-year spirit rings combined with the strength shown in the last soul fighting match between Huo Yuhao and Su Sanchi. Ningguang already had a rough assessment of Huo Yuhao's strength, at least the combat power of a 4-ring soul master. Ningguang himself is also at the soul master level. Although the 7 treasures glazed pagoda itself has no combat power, its terrifying amplification effect can allow the 2 great Soul Master teammates to have the combat power of the Soul Master level in a short period of time. Even if they were to fight 3 against 1 with their current team configuration, they would still be clearly at a disadvantage. But she wanted to win. She wanted to show her strength in front of Huo Yuhao. Although Wu Feng felt as if she was facing a formidable enemy, she could not hide her excitement. A raging fire was burning in her heart under Huo Yuhao's catfish effect. Wu Feng and the others' strength also improved rapidly, especially Wu Feng herself. After losing to Huo Yuhao successively, she learned from her mistakes and became more courageous, breaking through 2 levels in just 3 months. Wu Feng is now confident. With Ningguang's assistance, she is unique among the freshmen and can compete head-on with Soul Master. Looking at her opponents in the quarterfinals, Naman Yuna widened her eyes and couldn't help but sigh that the world is so small. As she actually got drawn to be the class monitor, it's broken. This time it's really sent. She would rather fight Ai Hulbin from class 5 than face Huo Yuhao father, like son. Over the past 3 months, she had often seen Wu Feng challenge Huo Yuhao without knowing his own limitations, and always end up in complete defeat. Especially after the squad leader entered the Soul Master realm, the gap in strength became even greater. Huo Yuhao had a calm expression. He had naturally guessed some of the other party's thoughts, but it didn't matter. Freshman of class 9, Huo Yuhao, level 35 strong attack system battle soul master, exclamation mark. Question mark. The plain voice sounded like a thunder, shocking the whole audience, especially Yan Xiaozi, who was standing in the viewing stand. His pupils shrank and his face was full of disbelief. As a super Douluo, even at this distance, he could hear clearly the self-introductions of several people just now. If I remember correctly, Huo Yuhao only achieved the soul master level 2 months ago, right? Is this level 35? A level 35 soul master who is less than 12 years old is so terrifying. In the history of Shrek, this is probably a rare occurrence. In the past 1,000 years, even his own teacher, Mu Lao, could not reach such a high level of soul power. At Huo Yuhao's age, improved soul power by 4 levels in 2 months. On average, he could level up 2 times a month, even though the training speed of his ultimate martial spirit was greatly slowed down according to common sense. Even if you take the soul-nourishing pill in advance, you can't do this at all. Yan Xiao's couldn't understand how could some people's cultivation speed become faster and faster. People who don't know would think Huo Yuhao is an evil soul master. It seems that the plan needs to be changed. Yan Xiao's originally thought that Huo Yuhao would need some time to realize his twin martial spirits and his talent for ultimate ice. He never expected that Huo Yuhao would be so ambitious. Ningguang and the other 2 were also extremely shocked, especially Ningguang. She is a soul master herself, and over the past 3 months, she has gone through a lot of hardships to improve her soul power level. Finally, I was successfully promoted to the next level. Therefore, she can better understand the difficulty of improving soul power. As a soul master, Huo Yuhao's soul power increases faster than that of a great soul master, which is outrageous. If I had thought that I still had a little bit of power to resist Huo Yuhao before now. Ningguang only feels a sense of powerlessness spreading in his heart. Ningguang, who was the first to react, took a deep breath, patted the 2 on the shoulders, and whispered to comfort them, "Do your best. This is our last game." Being eliminated in the quarterfinals can only be attributed to bad luck, not the fault of the war. Both of them heard the hidden meaning in Ningguang's words originally. Teacher Mu Jin expected both teams to make it to the top 4, but if you encounter an unreasonable person like Huo Yuhao in advance, there is really nothing you can do. A level 35 strong attack spirit master, with 2 purple 1,000-year spirit rings, I can only try my best to see if I can gain the authority of a core disciple. At this moment, the invigilator shouted, "The competition begins." Ning. Tian immediately stretched out her right hand and shouted. The 7 treasures turned out to be colored glaze, dazzling. Colorful light was suddenly released from Ningtian's body. Where the colorful light gathered, a colorful pagoda over a foot high and sparkling with flowing light appeared in the palm of Ningtian's right hand. 2 yellow and 1 purple, 3 soul rings rose from Ningtian's palm, and moved in an orderly rhythm around the 7-story pagoda on his palm. Give it your all. As he spoke, Ningtian chanted the soul spell at the fastest speed. The 7 treasures have names. One is called speed, and the third is called power. Ning Tian chose to burst out with all her strength without hesitation. Under her distracted control, 2 soul rings, 1 yellow and 1 purple, lit up on the pagoda. 4 dazzling rays of light instantly shot out from the pagoda and fell on Wu Feng and Namen Yuna respectively. Among Ningtian's 3 soul skills, the first and third soul skills enhance speed and strength respectively. The second soul skill is the ability to remove negative effects and seals, so that partners can return to the best combat state. The reason why the 7 treasures glazed pagoda can become the world's #1 auxiliary weapon spirit despite the restriction that it can only be promoted to the 7-ring soul saint is naturally because of its extremely powerful auxiliary ability. The auxiliary amplification effect of ordinary martial spirits is already very good if it reaches 5%. 10% depending on the age of the spirit ring. The auxiliary amplification effect of each soul ring of the 7 treasures glazed pagoda can be improved with the addition of soul rings, and the amplification effect can reach 10% plus, number of soul rings 10%, in other words, with Ningtian's full assistance. Wu Feng and Namen Yuna's speed and strength were both increased by 40%, and they possessed combat power comparable to the soul master level. Wu Feng and Namen Yuna, who had received the amplification, started instantly. There was a pair of emerald green wings behind Namen Yuna, and her hands also turned emerald green, as if they were carved from jade. As the 2 spirit rings on her body lit up one after another, green light shone from her hands. Then she put her hands together above her head, and the green light condensed into a crescent-shaped light blade above her head, slashing straight towards Huo Yuhao. Her martial soul is the jade bluebird. Her first soul skill is called the jade sword, which turns her arms into swords. The second soul skill is combined with the first soul skill and is called the Jade Slash. Almost all of the Soul Master's soul skills can be used in coordination, but the extent to which they can be coordinated depends on the strength of the Soul Master's own martial soul and the coordination between the soul skills produced after the soul rings are attached. Wu Feng also launched his full strength. A red light shone from his body, his 2 soul rings glowed, the dragon fire rising from his body turned dark red, the scales on half of his body thickened, and his left hand turned into dragon claw. If anyone else were to deal with them, they would definitely avoid their sharp edge and capture the leader first, and get rid of the owner of the 7 treasures glazed tower first. But Huo Yuhao is different. Also, for the sake of class camaraderie, he gave the 3 opponents a chance to show themselves positively. Huo Yuhao's figure flashed and appeared not far in front of Wu Feng. As for the Jade Slash, because it had a locking effect, the emerald green blade drew a graceful arc in the air after missing the target and rushed towards Huo Yuhao again with the full force of Wu Feng. They were sandwiched from both sides. Seeing that Huo Yuhao did not dodge or evade, but instead attacked him, Wu Feng's expression lit up with joy, and he swung the dragon claw of his left hand towards Huo Yuhao with all his strength. It seems that we have forgotten the painful lessons learned. Which wind relationship, friends achievement mission, the sky clears and the rain stops, the witch is back. Well, he will hold back a little this time. Huo Yuhao clenched his 5 fingers into a fist and charged towards Wu Feng without hesitation. Deliberate punch. End of this chapter. Chapter 99. We are the top 4, after a dull sound. Even though Wu Feng had Ningtian's soul skills and the dual blessings of Dragon's Fury and Dragon's Fire at this moment, he was still defeated head-on and flew backwards. As for the jade sword that was approaching behind him, Huo Yuhao grabbed it with his other hand and disintegrated it with a slight force. Pure difference in physical fitness and soul power level. Seeing this scene, Namen Yuna subconsciously wanted to increase her altitude to avoid Huo Yuhao's next attack, but she suddenly felt a blur in front of her eyes, and Huo Yuhao had appeared in front of her without her knowing when. Namen Yuna trembled all over, and fell asleep peacefully under Huo Yuhao's sleep. Inducing fistus for Wu Feng, who was blown away. Although her offensive and defensive abilities were quite strong at this time, already equivalent to that of a soul master, after suffering a punch from Huo Yuhao that came with a mental attack, her eyes went black and she was unable to get up again at this point. The outcome of this test is already very clear. Huo Yuhao raised his head and looked at Ningtian, the only one left. Ningtian bit her moist red lips lightly, her expression somewhat bitter. her water blue eyes extremely complicated, and she slowly raised her hand. Surrender, achievement. Triggered. Achieved Ningtian's unrequited love achievement and receive the reward of dual purpose goo. 1 mind 2 purpose goo, a second level goo insect that can easily divide the soul master's mind into two, making it extremely convenient for commanding an army of insects and beasts. Evaluation: draw a circle with your left hand and a square with your right hand. Huo Yuhao? No. How come Ningtian's achievement mission was completed instead? What about Wu Feng? Could it be that he hasn't defeated Wu Feng yet? On the high platform where the battle was being watched, Mu Jin let out a faint sigh as expected. Huo Yuhao won, but she didn't expect that Ningtian and the others would lose so quickly with her ability. She could see the situation of the game clearly from the high platform, but she couldn't see the specific details. Just after Huo Yuhao threw 2 punches, Wu Feng and Nanman Yunar fell down together. Lingmao martial soul. Is this a spiritual type of attack? There is also the teleportation soul skill, which, combined with Huo Yuhao's own strength, is really an added advantage. The championship is definitely secured. Thinking of this, Mu Jin hurriedly stepped down. After all, Ningtian and the other 2 are from his class and they are all his own children. He still has to comfort them after they lose, to prevent them from getting upset. At the same time, assessment area number 1 Wang Dong's team is against Zihuanayu's team at this moment. The 3-on-3 fighting spirit has reached a white-hot stage. Xiao relied on the Samshang Soul Calming Cauldron, and Bai Yan carried out aerial containment. The 2 worked together to delay Zihuanyu's rolling ball. Wang Dong went straight in alone and fought against the brothers Luo Xianlong and Luo Xianba alone. Wang Dong's wings behind him flashed instantly, closing the distance in an instant, and then his second soul ring lit up. The wings transformed from the butterfly martial spirit of the goddess of light shone brightly, and on the azure wings, the golden light patterns burst out with strong brilliance like little suns that were ignited. Wang Dong's entire body was rendered golden, and he instantly became the most dazzling presence in the venue on the viewing platform. Even the teachers who had not originally been paying attention to their game were drawn to it and cast their eyes over the second soul skill. Is the light of the butterfly god. Even Xiao was seeing the power of this soul skill for the first time. The brothers Luo Xianlong and Luo Xianba, who were performing their soul skills, were instantly swallowed up by the golden light. The Luo brothers' mantis swords transformed into dozens of blade beams in an attempt to block the light of the butterfly god. However, their efforts were proven to be in vain. Whether in terms of soul power level, martial soul level, or soul ring age, they are far inferior to Wang Dong. In the midst of the flashing golden light, the power of the butterfly god's light was unleashed. The Luo brothers were blown away. The referee stepped in to rescue them, and both were eliminated. However, Wang Dong spun in the air and landed gracefully in an extremely handsome manner. Wang Dong's accurate judgment, powerful attacking power, and decisive performance immediately won unanimous recognition from the teachers watching the game on the podium at the same time that Wang Dong was winning. Xiao and Bai Yan were also under the full force attack of Zihuanayu. Zihuanayu's martial soul is the Pipi elephant, which has amazing defensive power. In the teacher's private evaluations, his evaluation at this stage is even higher than Ningtian, which shows how powerful he is. Even though Xiao tried his best at the beginning, it was still resolved by the opponent's first soul skill. Then, under the impact of Zihuanayu's flesh bomb, he stretched out one arm, enlarged it, and swept it with strange force, directly shaking away the 3 Sanshang soul-suppressing cauldrons. Zihuanayu's body, which was as fat as a ball, also fell from the sky. He stretched out his arms again and rushed towards Xiao to attack in order to protect Xiao. Bai Yan was hit by Zihuanayu's third soul skill and was taken away from the competition venue by the invigilator. Zihuanayu cursed inwardly that it was bad luck that the great soul master with twin martial souls escaped when the soul fighting match just started. Xiao revealed his trump card and suddenly used the 9 phoenixes flute to release the slowing soul skill. A song of group deceleration sounded, and the battlefield between the 2 sides was divided. Therefore, Wang Dong had such a good opportunity to eliminate the Luo brothers instantly. However, Zihuanayu was still full of confidence at this time. In their team, the Luo brothers were just his vassals, and the real fighting force was him. Relying on his 3-ring strength, facing 2 2-ring great soul masters, his winning rate is still over 70%. Xiao, who was thrown into the air by Bai Yan, was caught by Wang Dong, who came rushing over. Wang Dong spread his wings and kept the 2 of them suspended in the air. At this moment, both of their eyes were a little red. Wang Dong, let me go down. Xiao's voice was a little cold, and she, who had a gentle temper, was really angry Bai Yan took that blow for her. During these days of cooperation and practice, Bai Yan was the person who spent the longest time with her, and a deep bond was established between the two. What's more, Xiao believed that it was her mistake that caused Zihuanayu to get close to her, and at this time her inner fighting spirit had been completely aroused. Wang Dong folded his wings and sent Xiao to the ground. Xiao, I need 10 seconds. After saying this, Wang Dong closed his eyes. 2 soul rings on his body, one yellow and one purple, lit up at the same time, preparing to make a big move. Xiao nodded and strode towards Zihuanayu. The sound of the 9 phoenixes coming flute became particularly passionate, and circles of emerald green light quickly spread out from the jade flute she was playing. The Samshang soul calming cauldron suddenly gathered around her body, and the 3 large cauldrons formed a corner to protect her body. Zihuanayu snorted and launched a meat and egg attack again. Suddenly, the 3 large tripods beside Xiao emitted black light at the same time, and instantly crashed towards the center and began to collide with each other. The 2 soul rings lit up at the same time. The most important weapon of the country is the shock of the tripod. The moment the 9 phoenixes flute disappeared, the 3 tripods merged into one, making a loud roar, and a giant tripod appeared out of nowhere on top of this huge cauldron. Strange runes appeared faintly, and an indescribable majesty burst out with a loud noise. Zihuanayu's second soul skill had no effect at all. His entire body was stuck, fixed in the air, motionless. Circles of black light continued to invade his body. Zihuanayu was shocked to find that the soul skills he was currently performing could not be retracted, and the soul skills he was not performing could not be released. Only the soul power in his body was rapidly evaporating. However, the huge tripod stood as majestic as a mountain and was not shaken at all by his impact. It can be clearly seen that circles of black halos are also rising on Xiaoxiao's body, and her face is becoming paler and paler. Seconds passed by. Even the invigilator on the sidelines became nervous. He didn't know whether he should stop the game. But if he stopped it, how would he determine the winner? Bai Yan, who had just woken up from the intense dizziness brought by the purple light, clenched her fists even more. Xiao, give up, Bai Yan shouted loudly. Even if she lost the game, she didn't want her partner to get hurt. Xiao did not respond, but just pursed her lips, and the black halo on her body seemed to become even stronger at this moment. Bai Yan was deeply shocked by the persistence in Xiao's eyes. Even on the viewing platform, even old Zhuan, who was gnawing on a chicken leg, stopped chewing, looked at Xiao, and nodded slowly. He recognized Xiao's persistence and perseverance. 7, 8, 9. When the last second arrived, a golden beam of light suddenly rose from behind Xiao. The wings of Wang Dong's goddess of light butterfly had completely turned into brilliant gold, rising like a butterfly bathed in fire. The golden light column turned into a terrifyingly huge crescent-shaped light blade. The air seemed to be torn apart, and the entire venue was filled with indescribable powerful soul power fluctuations. Looking at the huge blade of light, Zihuanai was so frightened that his soul flew away. Even though he was confident in his strong defense, he never thought that he could withstand this attack. He spoke from the bottom of his heart. I surrender. Wang Dong's team wins. The final huge light blade was also blocked in time by the referee. The nation's most precious treasure, the tripod, disappeared quietly, and Xiao felt completely exhausted. Wang Dong also tried hard to hold on and not fall down. Bai Yan rushed into the venue at full speed, hugged her 2 companions, hugged them together, and cheered. We are the top 4, Z. Huanayu's body has returned to normal size, but his school uniform has been completely soaked in cold sweat. At that moment just now, he really felt that Xiao and Wang Dong wanted to kill him, and he had no way to stop them. His fat body trembled, and he found that Xiao's eyes were deeply engraved in his heart. This woman really should not be messed with. On the high platform watching the game, the teachers were silent. They had completely ignored the other games that had ended or were in progress. Looking at the efforts of the 3 people, Zhou Yu also revealed a gratified smile. Maybe they can really win the championship. Zhou Yu looked in the direction of Mu Jin, but found that the person had already left. Is the civil war in Class 9 over? Zhou Yu also realized it belatedly at this moment. So fast? Well, if I'm matched with Class 9 in the next game, I'll give them a surprise if there is a chance. Zhou Yu plans to teach this little bitch Mu Jin a lesson. Humph. The ownership of the soul bone is not up to you. Must get it. End of this chapter. Chapter 100. The bet of 1,000-year soul bone. The top 4 spots have been announced. To everyone's surprise, only 2 of the 4 teams with soul masters advanced. namely Huo Yuhao from Class 9 and Dai Huoban's team from Class 5. The remaining two teams are both composed of 3 great soul masters. Let's not talk about the team from Class 4 for now. Although they have been winning all the way, any discerning person can see that the other team just had good luck in the draw and did not meet the team that was the favorite to win the championship. But Wang Dong's team from Class 1 is different. They have a record of defeating the Evil Moon team in this battle. Wang Dong and Xiao Xiao's performances shined, especially the scene where the two of them joined forces to fight Zihuanayu at the end, which was even more moving. There are even rumors that Wang Dong's final powerful move can even threaten a 5. Ring Soul King. The referee who was responsible for blocking the light blade attack at the time had a deep understanding of this. The pressure was so strong that even with his cultivation level as a Soul Emperor, he actually felt like he was suffocating. Fortunately, he released his martial soul in time and avoided getting hurt. It was this game that greatly increased Wang Dong's popularity again, and he was called the second strongest offensive soul master among the new students by many people. As for the first place, it is naturally Huo Yuhao. Some people even went so far as to directly deprive Ling Mao of the title of the Gemini of the Outer Court and gave him the title of the Outer Court's strongest attacking martial spirit. It's also fun to watch the fun after fighting with Zihuanayu. Wang Dong and Xiao Xiao were both exhausted on the spot, especially Xiao Xiao. In order to buy enough time, she consumed not only her soul power, but also her energy. And she almost fainted on the spot. Fortunately, the healing soul master in charge of the freshman assessment took action in time. After the treatment, it was shown that Xiao Xiao needed at least 1 night of undisturbed rest, so that with the help of the elixir, there would be no sequelae. Bai Yan and Wang Dong both breathed a sigh of relief at this. After the victory, Wang Dong also reflected on himself. She was a little impulsive at the time. In fact, she could have cooperated with Xiao Xiao to defeat Zihuanayu without using the charged combination skills. It would be unwise to take such a risk. Fortunately, Xiao Xiao did not suffer any sequelae, otherwise she would have really regretted it. After Zhou Yi arrived, she first praised the 3 of them and told them that the quality of this year's freshmen was far better than in the past. If they could still win the championship under such circumstances, it would undoubtedly prove their potential. Xiao Xiao and Bai Yan were both inspired by Zhou Yi and looked forward to winning the championship. But Wang Dong knew that their group might have already stopped in the top 4. She also underestimated Soul Masters' strength, especially the Soul Masters here in Shrek. All of them are the elite among the elites. As her strength gradually improved, her horizons gradually broadened. Wang Dong once again realized how powerful Huo Yuhao was. At first, Wang Dong thought that everyone was at the level of Grand Soul Master and their levels were similar. No matter how strong Huo Yuhao was, he would not be much stronger than them. Later, Huo Yuhao defeated Su Sanqi with 3 punches, and Wang Dong was like a frog in a well looking up and seeing the moon. Wang Dong now feels that Huo Yuhao is unfathomable, and sees him as a floating particle in the sky. Just do your best. If you draw someone else, you still have a chance of winning. The 3rd day of the knockout rounds. It is also the moment to decide the freshman champion and the top 3. Compared with previous days, there are more people watching the game today, especially at the edge of the assessment area, which is almost packed with people. Not only did many senior students come to watch the battles, but quite a few teachers even brought all the students in their classes to watch these much anticipated battles. Originally, Shrek Academy's assessments took the privacy of each student's abilities into consideration as much as possible, so the assessments were generally not open to the public for other students to watch. However, because this year's competition was so intense, Huo Yuhao became the first person to form a separate team at the request of most teachers and students. Shrek Academy turned a blind eye today. The hospital has developed restrictions on the assessment area so that students can observe and learn. After all, it is not a waste of time to be able to watch the fights between strong people of the same age. Not only can students learn something from it, but it can also make them realize the gap between themselves and true geniuses, and stimulate their motivation to practice. Of course, the viewing platform was still reserved for teachers, and almost all the teachers from the external departments who didn't have classes were there. However, the slovenly old man who appeared on the platform yesterday did not appear again. The person in charge of drawing lots today is no longer Du Whelan, the director of the martial spirit department of the external academy. An old man in white has taken his place. Du Whelan just stood beside him respectfully at this time, which obviously proved his lofty status in the academy. Hello, young people. I am Yan Shaos, the 261st Dean of Shrek Academy. Yan Shaos had a smile on his face and his temperament was very gentle. He gave people the feeling that he was just an ordinary old man, but Huo Yuhao knew that this was an old fox who was hiding his true strength. When they heard Yan Shaos say it himself, Everyone except Huo Yuhao straightened their bodies unconsciously. That was the dean of Shrek Academy. As the dean of the top academy in the continent, he was qualified to be on par with any emperor of any country. Moreover, he must also be a super strong person at the title Douluo level, the real top existence in Douluo continent. None of the freshmen expected the dean to appear here in person. I know you are all curious about why I am here. Yes, generally speaking, even if the freshman assessment has reached the final stage, having a vice president show up is enough to show the college's attention to you, but I have to say that I am very satisfied with your performance. You are the most talented class in the past 100 years. I am very interested in you, so I am here. And I will watch all your games today. I hope you can surprise me. Okay, let's start the draw. Duelin understood and stepped forward, shouting, "Freshman Class 9, Huo Yuhao, come forward and draw the lot, Dean." Yan smiled gently and said meaningfully, "Yuhao, I hope you can show your true strength today, Ho." Yuhao nodded calmly and handed the drawn lottery ticket to Duelin. Freshman Class 9, Huo Yuhao's team, sign number 1, the 5th class of freshmen, Dai Huoban's team draws lots. A tall young man strode out. He had a handsome and cold face, and long golden hair parted in the middle of his head and spread on both sides. Surprisingly, he had double pupils in his deep blue eyes. Freshman Class 5, Dai Huoban's team, sign number 2, hearing Duelin's voice, Dai Huoban seemed a little disappointed before returning to the team. He glared at Huo Yuhao fiercely, full of fighting spirit. Humph, the freshman is the strongest? Although Huo Yuhao was quite powerful, even Dai Huoban had to admit that he was no match for his opponent in a one-on-one fighting spirit. However, he is not afraid of team competitions, especially when it is a righteous 3-on-1 situation. He deliberately kept the trump card of martial soul fusion skill. The championship of the freshman assessment is already in my pocket. Huo Yuhao, I think you are ready to die. Soon, the results came out. Assessment area number 1, Huo Yuhao's team versus Wang Dong's team. On top of the stands, Mu Jin looked at Zhou Yi, who was approaching, and said sarcastically, "Hey, isn't this teacher Zhou? Our two classes are playing in the semifinals." What a coincidence! Zhou Yi's eyes turned cold. "Mu Jin, do you think your student is sure to win?" Mu Jin covered her mouth and smiled sweetly. "That's hard to say. After all, your class unexpectedly defeated Zihuanayu's team. I'm really impressed. But I heard that your team tried their best to defeat Zihuanayu in the end. Want to make a bet? Or the same bet as yesterday, a soul bone? Do you dare?" After saying that, Zhou Yi showed a hint of disdain at the corner of her mouth. "If you don't dare, stay away from me. Don't let me smell the disgusting perfume on you." Mu Jin didn't know what she was thinking about. Her chest heaved violently and a fierce light flashed in her eyes. "Okay, I'll bet with you. 1,000-year soul bone. Do you dare?" Zhou Yi's face was calm, but her brows were slightly furrowed. "1,000-year soul bone? Is this spendthrift woman crazy?" "Teacher Mu, Teacher Zhou, forget it. Yes, teachers, it really shouldn't be like this. The stakes are really too high. Everyone is so friendly. If we really want to gamble, 10,000 gold coins will be enough." Upon hearing about such a huge bet, the teacher who was originally watching the show nearby rushed over to the two people who were arguing with each other and tried to smooth things over, but Mu Jin took a step forward, pressing Zhou Yi, and continued to repeat, "Zhou Yi, just tell me if you dare or not." Looking at the aggressive Mu Jin, Zhou Yi responded with a cold expression, "Why not? I'm making a bet with you, so what if it's 1,000-year soul bone?" Her husband is an 8th-level soul mentor with this layer of insurance. Zhou Yi can be said to be fully confident no matter what the final result will be. Besides, Wang Dong and the other two may not lose. Seeing the two people's generosity, the other teachers around them gasped. This was incredible for those of them whose cultivation base is mostly at the Soul Emperor level. 1,000-year-old soul bone is a priceless existence. If you want to get a suitable 1,000-year soul bone, you might have to spend all your money. There is a saying in the Soul Master world that if you want to become an excellent Soul Master, you must work hard to improve your soul power and obtain soul rings with the highest possible lifespan. One after another, soul bones can not only improve the soul power of soul masters, but also strengthen their physical fitness, allowing them to increase the lifespan of their soul rings. Therefore, if you want to become a top soul master, a true strong man in Douluo continent, you must have your own soul bones. The more soul bones one has, the stronger one will generally be. Interesting, such a big bet? Then let me be the notary. At this moment, Yan Xiaozi had just arrived at the platform and saw such an exciting scene, but he did not say anything to stop it. The school spirit of Shrek Academy can be summed up in one word: competition. This is true for students and teachers alike. Since both parties were willing to do so, he just went along with it. The bet has been made, and there is no regret. Let's see the result of the game. End of this chapter. End of this chapter. Thank you very much for reaching the end. Don't forget to like. Looking for more exclusive content and immediate access? Subscribe to our Patreon. Remember, every like, subscription, or donation encourages us to continue. Thanks to everyone. See you in the next video.